Howdy, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Apparently, DSP isn't doing too hot, from what I understand. He's apparently dealing with some sort of health issues. I don't know. I guess it's plague, maybe. So we've got possibly 35 minutes until he shows up, but let me get that out of the way. But no real clue on if that's actually going to happen. In the off chance that he does, we'll watch his stuff. And if he's not here, we're going to catch up on some of the lore. Either way it works out. He admitted plague through. That's really funny. Who said he was going to Connecticut? That'd be really wild. So is he flying back to Connecticut? Why would he go to Connecticut? Something I read in the chat earlier said it was something to do with his parents. BS rumors, probably. People are probably making things up. They just make shit up. They just make shit up. Speaking of making shit up, I was reading a lot of the deranged Discord, and it got me thinking, they're probably right. I've come to the conclusion that they're totally correct, bunch of heroes on that Discord, that Cat probably has diabetes. And I want to say this first before any DSP spies in here. I am not making the statement that she has diabetes. I'm saying it is a possibility that best explains things. Enlarged prostate, he is 40. It is that time. It's probably enlarged because he keeps blowing it so much. It's starting to swell. I don't see why he'd go to Connecticut. He said everything about Connecticut was worse. He said that there's zero reason whatsoever to ever go back to Connecticut, which I assume would include things like health things. So I'm going to kind of kick back here and do a little bit of discussion time about DSP. Why I think it might be diabetes is because she is clearly putting on a lot of weight, and she has a very sedentary lifestyle. And DSP legit might not be eating that much food. It might be mostly her food that she's eating. What do you think is his problem? Is he losing the house? I don't think he's losing the house. I think what it is Cat has diabetes. And I think possibly it got to the point where it's super serious now. And hold on, I'm going to get ahead of myself, so I don't want to talk about the final part of my view. Cat has put on a lot of weight. She's pretty sedentary. She doesn't really sound like she does anything. Whenever she's supposedly at work or whatever, it never really adds up. Her schedule's all over the place, and sometimes there are times where you think you can hear her in the background. I don't know. It's very suspicious that she's actually up to anything. And DSP might not actually be eating that much because legit Cat might be eating everything. It might be a situation where she's grazing throughout the day. And if that's the case that she has diabetes, she of course would need insulin. And here's the thing with this kind of situation. I feel like DSP really, really wants to discuss it because he keeps bringing it up that there's health issues. If he really didn't want to talk about anything, he would never address it ever. Just as he's shown that he's capable of doing. There's been times where he doesn't discuss things and it just comes out at some point or other. So I think what he really wants to do is beg. And that's what makes me think that it's diabetes, because diabetes is one of three conditions that is still culturally seen as kind of a shameful condition. Gout, diabetes, and to a large extent still AIDS. AIDS is still seen as pretty much a negative disease. And diabetes, especially type 2 diabetes, because you essentially do it to yourself. If you have type 1 diabetes, that shit's awful. Hello, Botch, how are you? If you have type 1 diabetes and pow poo, IRS trouble, maybe. If you have type 1 diabetes, that's just a living hell, and I feel for you. That sucks, man. But type 2, if you eat cake after cake after cake each day, yeah, you're going to get type 2 diabetes. Way to go, idiot. At least that's the cultural perception of it. So I think DSP is really afraid to bring up diabetes as the reason why she's not well. If it were cancer, I don't think DSP would hold back because he would actually have quite a bit of ammo if he came out and said, Kat has cancer. You guys don't realize just how troublesome it is being, or how much pain it is to be a spouse of someone who's going through cancer. Do you know? I would not put it past DSP for a second to try and weaponize his wife's cancer. Not for 1 second. Because it's nearly invincible in terms of drawing pity. And a lot of other conditions would probably get that one as well. But he's already been made fun of to hell and back for gout. So his wife having diabetes would just be, honestly, the jokes would write themselves. Diabetes and gout, they're a married couple, that's beautiful. I don't know if he has diabetes. I don't know if DSP has diabetes. The only two pieces of evidence that I have for diabetes for DSP is that he's perpetually tired. And two, he leaves at very specific times to do things, which could very well be when he needs his insulin. Like he needs to leave at 7 o'clock each time to go check his insulin levels. Something like that. I could see that. But with Kat, you know he really wants to say, use it as part of his begging. My wife, she has diabetes. These tips are not enough. This insulin, it costs a lot of money, dudes. You guys aren't mature adults. You don't know how difficult this is. Because she actually has a very rare type of diabetes. It's called diabetes requiem. Now, if you look that up in Google, you might find like one thing in like Bavaria and some bizarre research paper. But I assure you, I don't think it's real. Or, shit. Oh no. I mean, it's totally real. I messed up there as DSP. Do you guys want my wife's leg to be cut off? You guys are fucking assholes. I think that's why he's so angry, is because he'd love to be able to weaponize it. If the detractors were not around, he definitely would. Because do you think Jade's going to question that? Definitely not. Type 7. This is some ultra diabetes. And then that brings me to my second point with it, is DSP recently was discussing his vest streak. And while discussing it, he mentioned that he barely remembers it. Which says something about DSP in general. The vest streak was a monumental success for him. He made so much money. He made over 20 grand from the vest streak. That's more than some people take home a year. And DSP blew it all. Blew it all on booze, food, and microtransactions. And DSP is not the kind of guy who can save any money ever. Because, I don't know, I guess it's just unethical. It's not how Roman Catholics were raised. The begging goes next level if it's... Yeah. Unless it's something like diabetes and gout. Then he will never bring it up. But he can't save money. And I want to take a quick aside here. During the Side-Scrollers arc, during the interview, I'm kind of an odd man out here, but I really think Kat had more to do with his explosive reaction afterwards than I think a lot of people give it credit for. Because he was more or less okay with a lot of stuff that they were doing when it happened. He was okay with their money. He was okay with their troll messages. He was okay with Adam kind of mouthing off to him. He was more or less okay with it because I think he thought it went well. And then Kat apparently spoke to him at some point. He mentioned that she said something to him. And he was very vague about what it is she said. But I think it was something negative. I think it was something like, you did not do too well in that interview. I don't think you did very good. I think you did bad. And DSP, he can't lash out at her. Because what? She might divorce me, and then I'll have to clean my own shirts. That's not going to happen. I'll have to cook for myself. Not acceptable. So when she told this to him, I think that's what triggered him to reevaluate the entire situation and get angry. Because he can't direct that anger towards her. And that's a very common narcissist or child way of operating with the world, where if you know that you are absolutely the loser in the equation, you have the closest point to self-reflection. That's as close as you're ever going to get. And that's when you put up the strongest and most violent walls. And I think that's what's happening here, is why he's so angry and so volatile recently. Is because I think Kat finally started talking to him about this and saying, you know, this medical thing that we're going through, it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal if you had actually saved money. If you had actually saved money during any of this, we would have been able to afford a lot of this stuff. And DSP can't mouth off to her. You can't say, well, Kat, you don't really understand how life works. You can't save money. It's impossible. It's like the Loch Ness Monster or representative government. It just doesn't exist, dude. He can't do that with her. Because, for whatever reason, he can't. And so that anger gets redirected towards everyone else. It gets redirected towards Dr. Disrespect. It gets redirected towards Review Tech USA. And it could explain why he's also so tired and can't sleep. It's because, this is the first time he's feeling stress because his wife has now decided that he's a loser and is telling him he's a loser, essentially. Not directly, probably, but through the implications, she's saying that you're a failure. Because think how bad that would be if your spouse blew all of your money on stupid shit and then suddenly you come down with a really bad illness, something really debilitating. And this person who blew all their money is now trying to pretend to comfort you, pretending to care about you. And honestly, for me, that'd be a divorce. That'd be grounds for divorce. And especially if that person is refusing to take responsibility for it. I need chemo and you blew all the money. You blew all the money on JPEGs. I need insulin. You blew all the money. I need a liver transplant. You blew all the money. That's really bad. And that's why I think that something like that happened. Sorry, I was kind of ignoring some of the chat just because I didn't want to lose my train of thought. I love you guys. I thought it was 24. Yes, over 20K, 24K. On DoorDash and all that stupid shit. We'll find out if he's going to beg Hearts. I don't know if he's going to show up. Part of me thinks that he's not going to. I'd say about 30% of me says he's not going to. Storms off and locks himself in. Yeah, and for a fact he would not buy name brand medication. Because, like I said, this is, diabetes requiem. We have to get the expensive shit. I'm not getting no Walmart brand diabetes medication. That's stupid. I don't know if DSP has any condition. He might have some sort of liver failure. I know it does look like he has tooth problems. Whatever's making him tired, it could be 1,000 different things really with DSP. I think it's Cat. He shouldn't. Dude needs to take more breaks. Do you think Cat is a narcissistic also? No, I think Cat is... So this is, again, getting into the stream that I want to do about DSP psychology. It's about relationship roles. I think that DSP and Cat very much mirror DSP's relationships, DSP's parents' relationship. And that you had one person who was pretty overbearing and one person who was pretty permissible. And that's what his mom and dad. His mom was apparently very open to let DSP do everything. And his dad apparently was very insistent on just staying out of it. Because he never ever seemed to contradict his wife at all. Otherwise, DSP would not turn out the way that he did. And I think that's kind of what happened with DSP and Cat. Is DSP was the overbearing one. He just did whatever he wanted at all times. And Kat, for the longest time, was just willing to let it go. She didn't want to get involved, really. And now it's reached a point where she feels inclined to speak up about it. And I think that's what's causing this discomfort with him. If the medical condition gets resolved, I would not be shocked to see her divorce DSP. Because that's really bad. That's really bad to have a marriage to a person who is a financial liability that could cost you your life. People have been divorced for far less, and it's been reasonable. That divorce arc never happened. She preferred her lifestyle than anything else she got to go. I will say that I am exaggerating the extent to how bad this could be, but I think that she is reaching that point where she's no longer comfortable. That's my theory. And that's why it is that DSP is so uncomfortable. Because if she's uncomfortable, she's speaking up. And if she's speaking up, DSP is actually getting anxiety from that. That's why I think she's doing this. Because she's always been... Even the "it's Tevin's fault" thing reflected DSP's reaction to her. Because when that happened, she was sitting there reading chat the whole time, and he wouldn't let her play, and she was just bored as shit reading toxic comments. And then she said that she wasn't interested and wanted to go do other things, and in general wasn't interested in being in the streams anymore anyway. To which DSP redirected his anger towards the trolls. So that's where I think there's a precedence for what she says has an effect on him. Because he can't ban her. He can't open up the settings and ban her. You know, who's going to cook him dinner? We got to think about these kind of things. He could be tired due to burnout, because towards the end of my military career, that's how I felt. It's possible. DSP's tiredness could be many different things. He has no retirement plans. If she was smart, she would get the fuck out. For real. The only thing that really seems to stop her from... Pardon me. I think the only thing that really stops her from moving out and doing something else is that she has no family, apparently. Her mom is ostensibly a psycho. Her sister is honestly a reprobate. She seems funny enough shitting on Phil, but come on, she has no stability. So she's got nothing but DSP, and DSP's falling apart too. I don't know. I don't see how I'd be able to live with my spouse if she burned all the money on microtransactions and my arm falls off. Yeah, there's a lot of holes in my theory, but I will say that's the one that makes the most sense to me at the moment. All right, so we're gonna watch some of the recent antics that DSP has been up to until he shows up.
And the amount I was earning began increasing to about $10 to $20 a day. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, one of my videos got magically blessed by the almighty YouTube algorithm, and in a single day, I made $171
She did divorce him.
So of course, I continued, and during my first full year of posting videos in 2017,
oh god, that'd be awful.
I earned...
What's hilarious is the guy was obviously already rich. Look where he lives, right? He lives in this mansion-like house.
Did I miss something?
The amount I was earning began increasing to about $10 to $20 a day. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, one of my videos got magically blessed by the almighty YouTube algorithm, and in a single day, I made $171 in ad revenue. So of course, I continued, and during my first full year of posting videos in 2017, I earned...
What's hilarious is the guy was obviously already rich. Hilarious is the
year of posting
Okay. So this is already rich. There's a million different ways where this could be explained other than that this dude is already rich. Let's just assume he's not. It could be a studio that he rented out for a little bit. You can do that. You can rent studios for videos. It could be a friend's house. It could be a neighbor's house. It could be anybody's house.
videos in 2017, I earned...
What's hilarious is the guy was obviously already rich. Look where he lives, right? He lives in this mansion-like house. He's got all this shit already, so he already was set up. I mean, I don't know if that's his house or his parents' house or whatever, right?
Yeah, it's got to be one of the two.
He already had a bunch of shit in order to make these kind of videos, so... He cheated. He's a fucking
no cheater. Kidding. He used rollback netcode.
Cheater. 100%
yeah, it could be green screen.
The views, and that translated into a higher income.
Or he invested in his...
the entire year of 2008.
Are you saying, Bill, that this dude spent his money on some cool-ass interior stuff instead of blowing all his money on goofy gamer shit, fighting controllers, and statues? I don't think that's a good investment. You should reconsider.
The channel made $170,940.
My YouTube channel has never made $170,945. Not even fucking close. Like, not even close. Like,
I think that's been thoroughly debunked.
Holy crap!
He made that video after the fact.
Holy freaking crap!
Made it big on YouTube, but that one right over.
Year he had a YouTube channel, he made that much money.
DSP has a hard understanding with time.
If you watch a video like this, listen, I'm not saying
exactly, Dustin. You gotta look rich to get rich sometimes.
Okay? But you cannot take this story as a case that is something that you want to do. Like, this is the monster exception to the rule. What happened to this guy? Likely what happened was this guy had so much shit to make videos on because he's rich. He already had a giant garage with a bunch of high-end shit. You know what I'm saying? He probably made car videos. He probably did all these videos.
Car videos? I don't understand those.
That he was privileged enough
I don't know,
to
Dark Seed of Flow.
In which case,
he's
he
being
made money
cryptic.
on it. You see what I'm saying?
I'm guessing
The Joe
30%
average
chance
person
he's
is
not
gonna be
showing
able
up.
to make that kind of content that people would be interested in.
That's starting to
You're not
rise
gonna
by
be
the
able to
minute.
blow up like this guy did. You know, so please don't take this as
This doesn't really make sense to me because DSP became really popular and successful on YouTube, and he was, you know, he was an underdog apparently. So I guess DSP is the only person that you should really consult for advice on things. And even if that's true, that he was rich beforehand, which frankly it might be true. At the end of the day, what does he have? He has equipment and he has software. You can save up for that. You can budget for that. It's what I did for my shit. I budgeted for all my crap. I'm not like you, DSP. People aren't like you. They don't just assume, oh, I can't do anything unless I have a shit ton of money. I can't do anything. I'm powerless. Unless I'm immediately successful, I'm powerless. That's a child's way of looking at life, DSP.
as an example.
What you speculate is the crisis this time.
Story
I went over it, but I think Kat has diabetes.
I just want you to
And I
understand,
think she's
this
mad
guy
because
blessed,
she's
he already
finally
had a nice
angry
life
because
before he became a
she
YouTuber,
realized that she
and then
could
as
have
a YouTuber, the algorithm
had some
blesses
money to
him,
help with this
and he
if
never
DSP
left.
didn't blow
This
it all the
is a
time.
success story based on luck. And yeah, I'm not saying there's no hard work and the content wasn't interesting. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you have to understand this is the exception to the rule. For every Graham Stefan or whatever, there's probably 4,000 people who tried to do exactly what he did and failed.
Okay.
You know, for various different reasons. So understand that. You have
Phil
to
gave her
realize the
diabetes.
lottery
DSP has
for
some
this
sort of
to be
transmittable diabetes. That's really bad.
And I hope that he's not trying to portray.
How's it going,
this
Little
as, oh, if
Shadow?
you do
We're
this,
talking
you
about
have to do,
DSP's envy right now.
People are really motivated to subscribe to my Darksidefil Twitch channel at twitch.tv/DarksidePhil because they want to see me topless in the shower again. I guess I'll do it. I mean, you know, no skin off my back. Who gives a shit, right? Seriously, who cares?
Can't do that now.
It's not a big deal.
Joke, but I was able to start my second channel, The Graham Stephan Show, to answer subscriber questions.
Okay,
and review
yeah.
my spending habits.
Look at how much of a baller this dude is. He has a T-Rex skull. I'd take it back, DSP. You're right. Anyone who has a T-Rex skull is rich as shit. And a Do Epic shit plaque. And a double tap book. Yeah, never mind. This dude's mad balling. He wipes his ass with hundreds.
Habits of millennials. From doing that, throughout 2019, the main channel earned $1,141,200.
Oh shit!
And again, why? Why was he able to do this? Because he was already rich. He already had the means to.
All right, Richard already pointed this out. But DSP benefited from his family. His mom and dad saved up money to send him to private school. They saved up to get him a prestigious education. And he blew it. Because all those black athletes, you know, they didn't have to do all that. They just got all the spots in college. And DSP, after getting rejected for the colleges he wanted, basically gave up and just found garbage colleges. Ones that would accept him. So they tried to help DSP out. They helped him get all this different financing stuff. Mom helped him with the taxes and shit. DSP has been bailed out a lot by his family. So what if this guy was propped up because he was rich? I'm sure you'll find that about a lot of things. Yes, it's true. People do get a leg up on other people. DSP, you are one of them. Not everyone had the opportunities you had. No one had the opportunities you still get now. Some of these opportunities include some sort of weird ultra luck, where no matter how bad it gets for you, you somehow still recover. There are people who have wealthy parents who fail and don't have the kind of luck you do. So I don't want to hear it.
Do the content.
And you skipped me in my message. Why aren't you talking? I'm sorry.
Sharing that life with
He has.
Boom. Within 3 years, he's
That's
making $1 million.
true. I'm not a millionaire.
Right?
I never
Of
had
course,
$1 million.
like, we're all
I
kids,
always
right?
spent it before
If
it
only we all
accumulated to $1
had
million.
If only we all had.
Was on Dudas,
the
and he
means
pointed
to
out
do
that.
And again, I'm not hating on the guy. This guy seems charismatic. Seems like a good public speaker.
It's
and I would
possible.
assume his content's
DSP
probably
might have
quite good.
some sort of
this
liver or
is
kidney
actually
failure.
An informative, entertaining video. But I'm just saying, again, this is the exception to the rule. I mean, I'll be honest, just like
Oh, I
any
forgot
other
about the
normal
money
human,
matches
yes,
thing.
am I jealous of certain people and people who are successful and whatever? Of course I am. Of course I'm going to have jealousy. That's a natural human emotion for those who have more than you. You're always going to have that natural kind of jealousy of those who maybe have been more successful or things like that.
The gout will be the gout will still live.
When I started on YouTube, to give you guys some perspective, literally there was
That would be a show I'd be interested in watching. DSP dies, right? And he leaves the camera on. So you actually see his body start rotting away and his gout starts moving and sits up and says, "Oh, finally I'm out of there. Okay, I'm Phil's gout. I'm going to take over the streams now. You guys are going to see things a little differently now. You guys can joke about gout all day. You can call my ex-wife a horse. You guys can do whatever you want. You guys are cool." And he becomes the coolest streamer overnight. The gout. Like and subscribe.
no one like this guy. Okay? The people who were on
The
YouTube
gout.
were people who had passion and talent and wanted to share that with the world, but didn't have the means. This guy's already rich. If he wanted to, he could probably do professional level shows and finance them. You know what I'm saying? Like
Maybe he doesn't
he
want to.
has this. But YouTube was supposed to be the means
Celebrate
by
Gout
which
one
if
up.
you
There we
don't
go.
have that means, you can now share that talent and that passion with the world, and hopefully this is your tube, your TV. People watch your channel, fall in love with you, and now you can.
So are rich people or people who are financially well off, are they not allowed to share their thoughts on things? Look, DSP, I don't necessarily disagree with you on some of this. I think that people who are super wealthy and have an advantage over theirs are very annoying, especially when they try and talk down to you. Like, oh, anybody could do it. Just make sure you own everything, you know? But DSP, you're discounting the idea that it doesn't really matter. Because YouTube can be anyone's voice. So this guy had an advantage. Oh, well. You had advantages. You made a ton of money. What happened to it, DSP? What happened to your opportunities? Where did they go? To your phone on those JPEGs. That's where all the opportunities you had gone to.
Actually,
I don't want to
get
hear it.
noticed for it. Even back then, it
Maybe you
wasn't
can
like
bring
make a
back the
living
king of
doing it,
hate
you just get
moniker
noticed
to the
for
king
it,
of
get some
gout and
notoriety.
LARP as a
Remember
king.
kids like Justin Bieber?
That'd be
He didn't
pretty
make
cool.
a living on YouTube. He got noticed on YouTube and then became a musician based on that. You see what I'm saying?
Phil's gout
But
as a
now
puppet
it's
with
like,
a rotten
it
corpse
almost
of Phil.
seems
That'd
to
be
me, I hate to
awesome.
say it,
Super metal.
that you need to go into it being rich or having the backing to do it to be successful. No one can just go into YouTube with nothing anymore and really make it.
What?
Or if you do, you are the exception. You're the lucky
That's
person.
empirically
what I'm saying?
false.
People became so fucking jealous and just angry that
Whatever.
here's a YouTuber who doesn't conform to all the norms of
It
what
was
a
supposed to
YouTuber
be a
should
video
do,
dumping
he's
hosting
popular,
site. It's not that
he's
deep.
outspoken. He doesn't put up with bullshit from anyone.
And even if you want
I'm
to say
sure
it's
there's a
that
lot of
deep,
people
not
who
everyone
watch
follows
these
that
skits
rule.
and stuff
Come on,
that
man.
don't have anything, and they make these skits. The skits are funny, and then they
You,
get viral
yeah,
popularity.
you're
and
right,
good on them.
Bill. That's
classic.
exactly how DSP treated it originally. He says that when he first started doing YouTube, he was just goofing around and putting videos up, and that he did not anticipate becoming as popular as he did. You had no plan either, DSP. Were you sharing the vision of Phil? No, you were farting around. And quite frankly, that's what I did when I first started doing YouTube. I just farted around. I threw up videos that I thought was funny.
That some of the skits we watch
It's
on this show
not
every
that
week
deep.
is kind of the exact definition of viral talent that what YouTube was designed to do many years ago. But for every one or two
Times
of those,
changed, DSP.
there's someone like him. And again, there's nothing wrong with him, but I'm just saying
You're
this
shitting
is
all over
not
him.
What YouTube started as, this was not the
It doesn't
intention
matter.
it was supposed to be.
It's not- oh, it's
you're
supposed to
already
be.
Rich now become rich.
It's supposed to be. DSP was in on the board of directors when they were making YouTube. He was one of the original backers for YouTube. He was one of the original script writers and code developers for YouTube. What do you mean what it was supposed to be? Do you know what Facebook was originally supposed to be? Facebook was originally a hotties list, a tool to measure the attractiveness of your classmates. What is it now? A lot of things aren't what they were initially designed for if there wasn't even an initial design plan. That's moronic.
Richer because people want to see what the lifestyles of rich and famous are like. And
DSP was
you know,
one of the hobos.
People are saying this guy, he was a finance and a real
I
estate YouTuber.
like
So there you
threw
go.
a can of
Already
beer
rich,
at
already
one of the
into it,
founders of YouTube.
can then make content on it and becomes even more rich and popular doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty crazy. But good for him. I'm not hating.
Yeah, good for him.
whatsoever.
I'm hating
Good
on
for
him, but I'm
and
not
his
hating on him.
success.
You just shit on him.
Certainly someone like me, nothing like this was ever possible, you know.
It was
at a time
possible.
when the gaming and the commentary
You
thing
made a
was
bunch of money,
non-existent.
DSP. Why didn't you
I came
invest
at a time
any
when
of
doing
it?
the kind of improv commentary
You
blew
invested
up.
it into
I got lucky,
statues.
and then you guys have seen my history and what happened with me. I mean, we went over it down the rabbit hole and everything last year. So, you know, now I'm looking.
Also, wasn't this dude one of the smartest businessmen ever? He made a shit ton of money from YouTube. And what did he spend it on? Did he spend it on his equipment? Did he spend it on his production? Did he spend it on hiring people to help him with his production? Did he spend it on the stock market? Did he spend it on real estate? He spends his money on statues. Statues. Video game statues. Things that immediately lose their value the second you get it out of the box. But this dude wants to talk all this shit about, oh, this guy's too wealthy or whatever. This guy had too many advantages. Like, what was his name? Keemstar hardly, I bet, makes any major money off of his YouTube compared to what his other projects were. He diversified. He immediately started looking for the next thing. And that's what successful people do, DSP. They don't stagnate. They're always looking for the next thing. They're innovating, you know, DSP? What has DSP innovated on? Oh, well, I do live reacts now.
To still be able to make a living doing what I do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Phil's
happy
real
that I can still
addiction
do this
is being a victim.
and even
Easily.
make a living doing it. But I'll
Easily.
never blow up like this guy, no
Try
matter
to
how much I
slide a
hard
rose
or
in,
work or
turn it
whatever.
on, she can-
If I was filthy rich and I was able to
No one
throw
is more
money at
jealous
a
of- no.
wall, I'd probably be able to make viral videos overnight.
Really?
I don't have
Really?
it, you know. What
Do
can
you
do?
think it's like
They're
your
so
game,
angry that
DSP,
I
where you can
just
pay
go
money
they
to
have
win?
go work their shitty fucking 9-to-5
Phil's
job or
addicted to,
whatever
but
it
not
is.
limited to, alcohol, mobile games, begging,
Anyway, that was a
being broke,
fascinating
being a
video.
Yep.
So within 3 years of this
This
guy
is
being a
not
YouTuber,
an
he's making
encompassing
$1 million
list.
on his channel. That's just insane. I mean, that's absolutely nuts.
Yeah, he did have two
Okay.
condos.
Well, I think this is a good time to split the video.
I
We still
agree.
got about an hour left, everyone. Thank you for watching DSP versus the Internet. Speaking of which, if you want to support this channel because I'm not a giant billionaire,
This guy
you can do many
apparently
things,
isn't
like
either.
liking the videos, leaving comments, becoming a channel member.
Did he just seriously throw 3 zeros on this bad boy? This is not a billion, DSP.
And thank you to those who are watching the show and enjoying. We got about an hour left this week's show, so thanks a lot, and I'll be right back.
This is what I've been talking about for a long time with DSP, where even though I agree with DSP, because his math is so bad, I disagree with him. Like, I get what he's trying to say, that wealthy people have an advantage that's unfair. Okay, I agree with you. That does happen sometimes. But the math is bad, DSP, because you had advantages. You had a bunch of opportunities that other people didn't. You had the position. You were one of the first dudes on YouTube. You had all these things going your way, and you pissed it all down the drain. So I don't want to hear from you. That's dumb as hell. Ugh. What the hell? This is an old-ass one. Huh? Oh. This is the Dr. Disrespect tweet thing. Math is a detractor. Yeah, really bad. It makes me have zero money. What the hell? And you blew it all, and you know what? I'm proud of that. I guess I'm proud to be a loser. I'm proud to be on level 1.
Okay. So I'm trying to think. I covered the Redfall thing. I covered the Street Fighter beta thing. Oh, what's the other story I want to talk about?
Oh, I didn't know that, Little Shadow.
The other story I want to talk about is the whole the whole Star Wars Jedi Survivor fiasco. And I have seen some weird stuff.
That's what you saw? That ain't good.
All right? And, I mean, here's the truth. I should be able right now.
I wanted to take a quick break from this. I wanted to discuss my chat. I'm actually having some DSP moments when it comes to my chat box. I sent them another email and I started getting a little cranky. I was like, do you guys have any idea what's happening? Do you have any sort of timeline on when this is going to get fixed? That's the extent of my crankiness. Whereas DSP goes right to anger from stage 1. Anyway, their explanation was kind of funny. I'm not technical, so I don't know how true this is. But they were basically saying that pockets of YouTube are having this problem. Because I was commenting that other people aren't having this issue. People's streams that I'm watching do not have this issue. And they said that there are pockets of YouTube that are having this problem. And that they're still working on it. So I found that really odd. It's like there's like balls inside YouTube, and some balls are working and some are not. I don't. It's bizarre to me. Some technical stuff. DSP needs to explain it to me.
To outright say what I want to say. But because I have a bunch of stalkerish assholes who come after me for everything I say, they try to cause problems.
No, they hold you to
right?
some sort of standard, DSP.
Well, fuck those people.
Okay.
Really.
Fuck me.
I mean, I'm a person who should be able to say whatever I want and be able to criticize.
Just buy me dinner, DSP,
bullshit.
if you're going to fuck me.
And I'm going to do so this morning. I don't care. All right? And please understand, what I'm about to talk about is not trying to start shit with anyone. It's me trying to be transparent and honest with my audience and telling you my real feelings. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Waffle Waffle, I don't like or dislike you. I don't have personal feelings. So as you know, I keep saying Street Fighter. Star Wars Jedi Survivor has launched, and it's a huge mess. On PC, it's nearly unplayable.
Yeah, I'm trying to destroy
people.
DSP's business.
Console,
That's why I'm
there's
spending all
constant
this
frame
money.
Drops and issues. On PS5, it crashes. On Xbox Series X, the frame rate's all over the place, and it's just not a fun experience when you get to harder parts
Nothing
of the game.
from DSP.
And these things that you're supposed to be reacting to, you can't. You're dying. It's like, screw
No,
this,
you.
right?
You were dying.
Well, for the most part, the internet is in
Nothing
consensus
yet.
about this. All right? But I've noticed there's a couple people out there, a few content creators in general, who are bigger, who are basically almost like trying to shame people for being honest about their experiences with this game. You know, I mean, just being real here. All right?
I'm being honest.
I saw some things that I shook my head at last
Sure.
night. So I saw this tweet.
He only has
and
to
I'm
deal
gonna
with
say,
why is he-
too bad. Dr. Disrespect.
He
put
needs
out a
stock
tweet last
and give
night.
me money.
And he's like, I was just playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor on my super duper high-end PC rig,
Bastard.
my $40,000
Probably had money.
graphics card and my fucking top of the line.
I don't know
configuration.
if he's going live or not.
He says, I played it for several hours. I didn't have any performance issues whatsoever. And so people out there, these gamers today are just fucking whiny baby bitches and they need to shut the fuck up. I'm not even...
I'm gonna fact check this real quick, DSP. Hold on. I don't even follow Dr. Disrespect on Twitter. Let's see what he actually said. Because I don't know, I just can't shake this feeling that you're full of shit, DSP. Let's verify. Dr. Disrespect. Is this the guy? Let's see. Let's see. Where is he talking about it? I played Star Wars Jedi Survivor on max settings all day yesterday. Yeah, certain cutscenes dropped frames, but overall performance and the experience on the game were top notch. People that complain about video games, go get a life. Is there another one I'm missing? Let's see. It doesn't look like it. What's he talking about in this one? No. Is there like a part 2? Maybe he added some more in the thread. Because DSP was saying basically y'all can go put a gun in your mouth. That's essentially what he was saying. Let's see. This guy is commenting that all you do is complain. Well, he is being rather abrasive, but I don't think he's as bad as... Oh. Holy shit, this guy has so many detractors. You need to ban all these people. Oh shit, these people are negative. Oh no. Oh man, we gotta get all these jokers out of here. All right, continue, DSP. Where the hell are you? There you are.
Been kidding. He made a tweet. I paraphrased, but that's essentially what his tweet said.
Yeah, he's probably more
Basically,
successful.
here's
than
a
me.
whiny
It's unfair to
baby.
hate him.
Okay?
I
And
mean, you don't have
I'm
to be
reading
really
this,
bad
and I'm
at
like,
PC of this decade. Exactly. You just need to save money and get
it's
competent
remarkable.
parts,
It's absolutely
or
remarkable
get competent advice anyway.
that it's 2023, and we still have content creators that literally don't care what they say online. They feel no air of responsibility. They feel like
Yeah,
no
I thought that
moral compass
Dr.
when they say shit
Disrespect
like
was a
this. You know what
character.
I'm saying? Like 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
DSP died. DSP is still MIA.
All right, I was a very irresponsible person.
You still
I
are.
said and did things that caused a lot of drama.
You still
because I didn't
do.
really give a shit.
You
I
still
didn't-
don't.
I didn't really realize the impact that my words had on the internet. I
Yeah,
didn't realize
maybe it was
the
a
following that I had as a
Howard
content
Stern
creator.
character.
That things that I said and
Kinda
did
looks like Howard Stern.
had definitive consequences. All right. I used to hate on Minecraft all the time.
You still
I
hate
used
on
to
shit.
On other indie games and stuff.
You still
all the
hate on
time.
shit. I don't.
People would
what?
say, "Why are you
When
so
did this
against them?"
change?
And I'd be very stupid and say things like, "Oh, you know, they're kiddie games and shit like that."
Yeah, I'm bumping it up
10
to
years
about
later, I played,
75%
man, I totally
chance he's
understand
not
why
showing
these
up.
games. Boy, was I ignorant and stupid back then because of dumb shit that I said, right?
Snort.
When I started as a content creator and I was very popular at the beginning there, I was very irresponsible.
Mm-hmm.
Now I look back and I'm ashamed of myself, of the things that I said and did and how I conducted myself. Because now I realize
No, you're not.
there are people who took what I said as like fact and probably went and dumped on things and
You
hated
still
on
hate
things
stuff.
unfairly and acted like jerks because they were like, oh, my guy that I look up to on the internet, DSP, said it, so it must be true. All right, today,
You still...
it's very simple.
This must be a
I
very
gotta
new
pay
clone.
attention to what I say and do. Because I realize now that there are impactful things that can happen as a result of what you say on
Do you guys remember even a time in the last, I don't know, 3 months where DSP was careful about something he said? He's unrelenting in his shitting about everything. He's shitting on Dr. Disrespect right now because he doesn't understand that Dr. Disrespect is a character. Does DSP know that Robert Downey Jr. isn't Iron Man? When he watches, say, Tropic Thunder, he's like, oh my god, why is Iron Man in blackface? What? I mean, not that I'm complaining, this is pretty cool. When... he's not real, DSP. You can count on people to understand who's real and who's not. Does he think Sacha Baron Cohen is actually whichever character he is at any given time?
Internet. If you have a following at all, whether
Derek
it's
is going
a
to be
ginormous following,
I
or
hope
a
so.
tiny
Derek
one,
should
still have a
stream.
following. There's people who trust what you
Hope
do.
that yesterday's
Okay?
stream was the last DSP. It'd be pretty wild if that was the last one.
And you got to be careful. I'll give you an example. Personally, I look at a game like Cult of the Lamb, and
Derek.
it doesn't appeal to me. It doesn't look like it would be anything interesting to me. I could be completely wrong.
Where's my
But
map?
at least when I look at Cult of the Lamb, I say, hey, perfectly fine if you enjoy it. Enjoy it for what it is. Go play it. For me personally, it looks like kind of one of those flash-in-the-pan, viral popularity indie games. It doesn't
I don't want to
anything
be part
I
of
really
that.
enjoy after like a stream or two, and I don't think it's worth my time. But by all means, you go enjoy it if that's your cup of tea, right?
That's not how
Back in the
DSP
day,
phrases anything. He still shits all over games and then says, well, but if you like that kind of stuff, this game is for lobotomized halfwits whose parents don't love them, whose their divorce is their fault, and they've got like a micro dick, and everyone hates them and steals their lunch money, and they're basically better off dead. But if you like it, go for it. Oh, yeah, that's not shitting on anything, DSP.
I'd be like, that game's a piece of shit. The only reason anyone would play it is because some streamer
Yeah, I
played
think
it.
Phil should
It's
take
junk.
out Dr.
It's for
Disrespect
kids. It's
in
crap.
whatever game
Forget
Dr.
about it.
Disrespect
And
is playing.
I'm not gonna say stuff like that anymore.
He
Because
thought wrestling was
I've
real.
grown.
Yeah.
I've become way more mature and intelligent in my head. I've become
When?
much wiser.
When?
And I realize that words like that can be harmful.
Hugest
Dr.
X.
Disrespect goes inside of a fucking public bathroom and thinks it's funny to film people pissing without their permission, breaking California privacy laws, getting banned from Twitch, and getting his E3 pass revoked. What a boneheaded, dumb fuck thing to possibly...
Maybe he was taken out of
yourself,
context, DSP.
right?
You don't
And
know.
stupid, quite frankly. It's just
A lot
it's
of
an
people are
uneducated
saying
take.
this.
If I've
Name
never played
3.
the game, how can I crap on it? That'd be pretty stupid.
You do
What
that,
I can tell
though.
you is it doesn't look like it appeals to me. That's why I don't want to play it on my stream, and that's my justification for kind of avoiding the game. But that doesn't mean it's a bad game and I should be shitting on it, like I used to a decade ago. Okay? But when you're
this reminds me of something. I'm gonna open up a separate window and start looking for something. I'm gonna keep playing
on
this.
the level of Dr. Disrespect, or because it wasn't just him. I'm singling him out because he was like the most prominent one that did it. And I don't know if Dr. Disrespect has some kind of a partnership contract with EA or not. I don't
It
know
appears
if
that he
money is
does.
a factor here or what it is. All right, but it's this simple. Positive social media attention. So to find out that you might get harassed by trolls for like a week after I promote your product, even if you sell some, but then your social media gets destroyed and harassed for an extended period of time, that's not a risk benefit assessment they want to make. You see what I mean? So as soon as any company hears, oh man, I might get harassed on social media if you promote my product, they say forget it. So it sucks. I can't get the same opportunities to everybody else because of the trolls. People are not just making this shit up on the internet to get jollies off to destroy Jedi Survivor. All right? The game is running horribly for a lot of people.
Who's a lot of people?
Thousands of
people have
people have documented their awful experience.
Thousands. How many
Why it's
thousands?
being review bombed on Steam.
3?
That's why people
7?
are posting up memes about
50.
it all over the internet. I have video evidence. My first 5 hours, the first 2 hours were choppy. The final hour was so choppy, it was literally unplayable.
No. DSP was making it choppy because he brought in a lot of enemies into that pit. I watched him do it. And then later on, because he was so bad at the game, he assumed it was because of the choppiness. There's a thing called priming. It's a psychological thing where if you're told to look out for something, or if you're told something is there, you will interpret things that are not that thing as that thing. And DSP is very, very susceptible to priming. In fact, he self-primes. He was told multiple times that this game is having performance issues. So what happened? DSP started seeing performance issues where there were none because he primed himself. And now DSP is trying to claim that he has some sort of insight in this. No, you have nothing. You really have nothing. Other people are encountering some stuff. I've been seeing some funny stuff on Twitter. DSP encountered nothing bad.
Okay,
Spawn
literally unplayable.
3 droids.
So
it was unplayable, dude.
Is, I'm having these
Is Phil back? I thought there was some
and when you
issue.
see a tweet like that from this guy, it's
Nothing
not just
from DSP.
Like, well, I had no issue.
Phil has fled to Mexico.
I feel
I
sorry
agree.
for those who are. You know, this sucks. It's no. I had no issues. Therefore, everyone who's bitching on the internet is just a whiny little bitch, and they need to grow up. Like he literally said that.
Okay, he literally said that. Let's see. People that complain about video games, go get a life. What did he say, DSP?
Feel sorry for those who are. You know, this sucks. It's no. I had no issues. Therefore, everyone who's bitching on the internet is just a whiny little bitch, and they need to grow up. Like he literally said that in his fucking tweet. It's like, dude, you don't understand?
Isn't that slander? Isn't that literally slander? Because you're saying he said something which he did not say. All you do is complain. I'm looking. I'm not seeing this thing, DSP.
With the size of the content creator that you are, with the audience you have, and the
pig who lies
the
himself to
attention you
sleep,
bring,
saying literally.
when you say shit like that, it's harmful. What you're doing, you're actually hurting the gaming community. All right?
That's funny,
you're
Richard.
Essentially
Probably.
saying, oh, it's good. Just ignore all the problems with launch
He
games.
tweeted no
one should
stream?
ever complain or
Let's see. DSP is buzzing with spring fun. I'll might not be streaming. Tomorrow's a scheduled day off, but that means... Okay, so yep. He's not streaming today. Fine. When did he post this? Oh. Right now. Okay. Hot damn. So DSP is MIA. When's he going to be back, though? Please note that Jedi Survivor is on hold until the game is patched for its massive performance issues. Colossamundo. And he's going to be back, what? Thursday. Fantastic. Goodbye, DSP. Have a wonderful night.
demand better, just pay money and shut the fuck up. No. That is completely
Yeah, I can believe that. He's like a cognitive miser. He'd rather not use cognitive.
Standing up for our rights as consumers. When we buy a game and it runs like shit at launch, we should be collectively getting together.
Are you?
And we should be saying, no, we demand better. We paid you our money. Now give us a quality.
DSP wants the revolution, but he doesn't want to actually participate in the revolution. He doesn't want to start any revolution. This is a guy who wants to be seen as some sort of important gamer guy. He wants to be seen as someone important in terms of the gamosphere. He wants his opinion to be noted or worthwhile. He wants to have things change and have people unify things. But he doesn't actually want to do any effort. DSP puts in less effort than performative effort. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't start a campaign on, I don't know, any sort of petition site. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't start a big-ass letter and have people sign it and email it to, or mail it to EA. He doesn't do anything. He just wants to be able to complain and have things change. What a loser. And you expect people to just rally behind you. Nobody knows who you are. You're a nobody, DSP. So why don't you do anything? But we need to rally together. What, by talking shit on Twitter? They don't give a damn about Twitter. Most people on Twitter are talking some sort of dumb shit or complaining about some sort of dumb shit. I'm complaining about some sort of dumb shit all the time on different social medias. That's what social media is for networking and bitching. So does he really think that's EA scrolling Twitter and seeing that, oh my god, look at this shit. Please note that Star Wars Jedi Survivor is on hold. Massive performance issues. I'm sorry, Mr. Burnell. We'll fix this right away. They don't care.
Product. Not, just because you're a big game studio like EA.
Always one street.
Well, you'll fix it in 3 months, right? No.
Tweet says game unoptimized. Bad game, screw your devs. I'm going to have to drop it.
Give us exactly what we want, right? So, I don't know. And the thing is,
imagine banging with
perhaps
having
it's
2
bullshit.
days off me.
Maybe he was joking. Maybe he was. I don't know. I haven't
DSP
watched
Stalin.
him play it.
You know what? At least Stalin participated.
It's kind of silly.
Not that I'm trying to make excuses for Stalin, but somehow DSP is worse than some of history's worst people because at least a lot of people in history actually fucking participated. DSP doesn't want to do anything. He just wants change. What kind of change? I don't know. But it needs to happen right now.
Because even if it's a joke, it's a harmful
Sign
joke.
the petition postal to me.
He's being
Yeah,
serious.
that one.
Wow, Dr. Disrespect says there's nothing wrong with this game. Now people might go buy it,
Yes, I do remember that,
I
Richard,
just-
when he thought that
again,
he
it
was
kinda-
starting some sort of
it
movement.
continues on with the line of irresponsibility. I hate to say it. This guy has shown a track record of irresponsibility with his actions over the years.
Can you help me out here?
He kind of think this guy has shown a track record of irresponsibility with his actions over the years. Line of irresponsibility. I hate to say it. This guy has shown a track record of irresponsibility with his actions over the years. He kind of say it. This guy has shown a track record of irresponsibility with his actions over the years. He kind of thinks that he can just do whatever he wants and everything's just a joke, right? No. When you have that level of popularity, you have to start treating yourself seriously and responsibly. And even if it's a joke tweet, it was a parody tweet. I believe the opposite. Then don't make the fucking tweet. It's stupid.
Parody is banned. Parody is banned. Because DSP is too stupid to understand parody, we need to ban it. No. Just get smarter, DSP. And what is he saying, the track record of irresponsible things? It's just like the side-scrollers interview all over again. DSP is listening to Dr. Disrespect's detractors. Did he go to Dr. Disrespect's streams? Maybe this tweet was taken out of context. Maybe it was his depression. Maybe he was having a really bad day and his wife was hitting him and, he had to eat lunch meat sandwiches and he just posted this. And he really shouldn't be judged for this moment of weakness. I think that maybe you should give him the benefit of the doubt, DSP. And what about all these shithead detractors? They probably don't even really like this guy. They probably just want him to fail. And they're sabotaging him and lying about stuff. Like, look at this. This was probably his incident. He doesn't want this posted. His wife is downstairs crying right now. DSP would be such a better person if he treated people like he treats himself. But he can't do that. Because, Jesus said you should do that. But, he had his own problems, right? If Jesus was so great, why isn't he DSP? Yeah, debunked Christianity.
Outsider will see that tweet and be like, no, he's supporting the game. Like I said, reading the tweet, you'd think he has a partnership with EA
self-aware.
So...
I am not Agent Proper.
It was
MS.
a few other
However,
again,
Agent
maybe
Proper and I have not been seen in the same room at the same
sarcastic
time,
jokes
so
about
who
it,
knows?
But I think that it's kind of more harmful than good. You shouldn't
Wild
be doing
mouth.
that in today's modern day.
At time,
You
weird
can't
spazzings.
read sarcasm on the internet. In a post. In a video, perhaps you can. If it was a whole long-form video and he was being tongue-in-cheek sarcastic, that's different than just a tweet. You know what I'm saying? So... I'm just so tired of this stupid shit. I really am.
That was really frustrating. Do I necessarily agree with Dr. Again, same thing as last video. I don't necessarily disagree. I think this was actually kind of combative because there are people who are having problems and people that complain about video games go get a life. Honestly, Dr. Disrespect, if that was the case, I don't think anyone would ever talk ever because most people just complain about games. That's kind of the point. But, whatever. You're having fun, and that's cool. I don't have to listen to this dude. Look at all these people who don't have to listen to him. He had 2.5 million people see this. Do you want to do a survey on all 2.5 million and see how many actually bothered to take this seriously? I'm sure it's not that many. We got 644 people thought it was serious enough to retweet it. 219 decided to quote it. And 219 of those might be saying this guy's a dumbass. So that's not even a good number. 96 people bookmarked it. That's not necessarily good either. So you've got a large portion of people who saw this and didn't care. So I don't really know what kind of reach he's talking about here. 205 million people are just going to start flipping out and get angry because this dude said something mean. It sure looks like the majority of them didn't really bother. Yeah, he sounds kind of like a consumer. And I'll even admit that, yeah, Dr. Disrespect might be not the best person to speak on this because it does look like he got something going on with Star Wars. Like, look at this Sith dude, Dr. Disrespect. But then again, that could just be a graphic he made. Yeah, I'm not going to assume anything there. It could just be a graphic. But again, DSP has bad math. It's just a bad take, DSP.
I'll be honest, I've noticed that I don't think these are doing as well. Like both the Pro Jared
he threatens to injure devs who probably have no idea what he's pissed about. Exactly.
The last couple of months,
I heard someone on the internet wanted you to die and lose your job because you had a cinematic in Call of Duty.
But I noticed the streams in particular didn't do that good. So I'm curious what'll happen today now that we're not doing this kind of drama content too. Will people support this and say, hey, I'm glad you're branching out and doing something different. You listen to us. We're not just doing drama. Or if this is like the third straight month where the stream doesn't do that well, maybe I got to think about maybe I do these only every other month, right? Maybe we scale back the long form reacts a little bit and we just focus on the show and reviews, and maybe I do more tier makers. Maybe I increase the frequency that I do tier makers.
Please, no more tier makers. And tier makers really demonstrate very bad things for DSP. One, it demonstrates that he's monumentally stupid. He doesn't know anything about his own tiers. Like, he was on some dumb shit when he was doing the video game console one, and I didn't even bother to watch the other ones. But I can imagine that he hasn't been doing so hot because people say that. And also, tier makers are only good if there's two things happening. One, you have someone to do it with, and then you can kind of go back and forth with them and discuss. And like, well, what do you think of the Xbox? Well, what do you think of the Virtual Boy? I personally thought the Virtual Boy was badass. I think you're crazy. You can do that. And DSP's not about to talk to people about that. He's not about to have Rambo come on the stream and say, balls, I like the Virtual Boy. Not going to happen. The other thing is if you're interesting, which DSP is not. If you were giving some cool insights about the console and saying, well, this processor works like this on this one, so it's technically more powerful than this one, but this one has a better frame rate refresh or whatever, DSP doesn't know anything. He can't tell you this stuff. And he's not interesting and funny. So tier makers are worthless. Please move on.
At this point, since I'm making no money,
you know it's on his mind when he mentions drama like 20 times.
Yeah. Almost nothing on KO Gaming, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment. I need you to help support everything.
All right.
Tier makers and React are terrible.
Says,
yeah,
I have interesting facts to share today. Your vest streak was 276, but if we read that number backwards, it's 672, so he's a confirmed detractor.
Oh, I need to... Big think.
What is going... What? It glitched. And made... What? I'll think about that one. I don't... It's funny, you guys still bring up the vest streak. I don't even think about that anymore. When was the last time we even had a vest twice in a row? I literally don't think about that stuff anymore. It's just not...
How can you watch DSP as a fan and not be really insulted by this? How many of the people that gave him money for the vest streak are still present? Probably not that many. DSP blows through fans. He blows through viewers. He, well, hopefully doesn't blow Derek. If you were still in DSP's chat, And you had given this guy so much money for this dumbass little thing where he wore a goofy vest on stream and said that this represents triumph over the trolls. And then several months later says, dude, I don't even remember that. I don't think about that kind of stuff anymore. I would be really upset by that. Because that was my money I gave you. That was, you better remember that shit. You better remember all that crap. It's a really incredible mask off moment. DSP just doesn't care about who gives him money. You're nobody to me. You're nothing to me. The amount of money you gave me, I don't remember it. What? You guys gave me over 20 grand of money? Doesn't ring a bell. Can't say I remember.
Not even like it doesn't never even
His beard can't be real.
comes to mind.
It looks like it's airbrushed on sometimes.
But you guys still bring it up like it's some big deal, right?
DSP goes through.
Clyde says the vest streams always made.
I regenerate my fans.
Oh, your stream's funny at night. But yeah, because there were some times that we.
Yeah, I
had, like,
appreciate
real
all your
tips
support, but I don't
stream.
remember it.
And then people would be like, "Oh my God, is the vest streak going to continue?" And then all of a sudden, someone would come in with like $100 bomb tip, and then the vest streak would continue. Went on for a while. It was very. You know what? That was so helpful.
And now it's
because,
helpful.
Let me tell you,
Now I
that
remember.
was the year that I was going through my bankruptcy and everything was falling apart. And if I
But I don't
didn't have
remember
that support
anything.
for those few months, I don't know how I would have like afforded anything. I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah,
I mean, since then,
$20,000. That
obviously,
was like a
it's
million
different.
years ago, dude. I
You
don't
know,
remember
a lot of
that.
things have changed. I'm not even on Twitch anymore, and a lot of things have adjusted. But
Also, what does this say to his memory? Nice freeze frame there. What does this say to DSP's capacity for memory? DSP only remembers negative things. Did you hear the past 30 seconds where he was talking about during that time, I was going through my bankruptcy, I was, having all these problems on Twitch, I was having all this, I remember all these bad things that happened. DSP, remember the good thing? No, I don't know what good thing you're talking about. Remember when you made all that money? No, but I remember being pissed off all the time. Good. So how are we supposed to take any of your memories seriously, DSP, if they're formulated so that you only remember bad things?
it's all good. And this vest is now a symbol of all of us who never give up, who basically say no matter what gets thrown against us in life, we're going to persevere
He doesn't
through
remember
it.
because
we're
it
going to say
wasn't-
fuck you to the haters.
expected, man.
And we're
That's
going to
true.
be
That's
successful
true.
no matter what.
You're supposed
That's
to
what this
pay
has
up.
become. That every day now, it's another win against those shitheads who
wonder
every
if
day tell us we
bankruptcy
can't do
had
something,
some
we're
maybe
not
should
good
be
enough,
because he wants
we're
to
just
promote
scum. For
Maybe.
what? What do we do? That we deserve that? Nothing.
be pretty
But this
funny.
is what they are. They're just crazy people.
Gotta have
And they will always try to tear you down. In life, there's always going to be people trying to tear you down. And this vest has become a ridiculous, I know it's as stupid as it sounds, as crazy as it sounds, but that's what it is. This is a symbol of persevering.
What
through
happened to
all
that symbol?
kinds of adversity, through all
Didn't
kinds of
persevere in his
challenges.
memory, that's for
In a
sure.
way, being able to do this symbol, to have this symbol stand for something is pretty cool and motivating.
No.
It happened before any price hikes. I mean, you're right. It was before the freaking. That was before. Well, that was during COVID, right? It was 2020, so it was during.
Yeah,
COVID,
he has to make up a new
but it was
story every
before
time.
inflation.
That's why it's inconsistent.
Yeah. Happy Sunday to you, Derek. It's good to have you here today.
Get the hell out, Derek.
Jack says, "Who did the biggest bomb ever?" That I don't know.
Yeah, I don't keep track of that stupid shit.
I don't document this stuff. Nor do I really remember. I don't really think about it or remember it. Like someone said,
So you really don't think about it. I remember all the times people have given me money. I remember every time because it's special to me. And people gave me money that they worked for. DSP doesn't even remember when people gave him 20K. God damn, man. That's horrible.
"What's the biggest tip you ever got?" I don't know.
I don't care.
What's the biggest amount of gifted memberships?
Don't
I
care,
ever got?
man.
I don't know.
I don't give a shit.
I don't remember any of this. You know, what's the biggest?
But
amount
if
of
people
gifted
keep
subs
track
I
of
had on
this, they're
Twitch? I don't know.
detractors.
I really don't remember. I don't. It's not something. I just like.
Yeah,
think
I
about
think
the
he
future.
was.
I don't dwell on the past. You know what I'm
I think
saying?
that's true, Ramen Bro. He ain't streaming tonight.
I don't plan on anything happening. I never planned on being a YouTuber. I never planned on being a streamer. I never planned on any of this.
He
shit
should
happening.
just
It
turn on the
happened.
stream camera.
Who knows what the future
Share a
holds.
cam. Come back and check
No,
tips.
I know for a fact I've had bigger than $1,000 tip. I know I have. I think I remember at some point. I think I remember 2,000, if not even bigger than that. But I can't remember the circumstances around it. Like I
Why
said,
do
I
you
don't
need to remember the
think
circumstances?
or document those things?
Can't
What's
document it.
hilarious is there were literally people who were sitting in the stream chat just waiting because they knew there was going to be a new vest today, and they're literally just shitting on the vest, saying it's a bad. Okay, what is bad? Hold on. What's bad with this?
I don't know. You look like Han Solo, but
Thinner.
terrible.
It's nice. It's got the same pop style collar as the other vest.
Pop
Actually,
style.
flannel on the inside.
Ooh, flannel. You
for
get
a
to
little
stay
bit of
warm.
difference. All right, so I want to hear it. What's actually wrong with the vest, or are you just here to be negative shithead, right? Because it's not my first rodeo. I know every time that there's something positive that happens, we got to shit right on it, right? So let's hear it. Let's actually hear the real justification for why
that
this
was a
vest
missed
is good.
opportunity.
I want to hear it.
Missing out on Ramadan and Eld.
Well, maybe start uploading to YouTube. Honestly, it was just kind of boredom. There was a point where I had a really bad back injury.
I saw that, TJX. I'm going to change the title and description.
I used to be an avid Street Fighter player. I used to travel to go to these tournaments and everything. But basically, I got to a point where I couldn't do it anymore. And I was looking for a new hobby to get into console gaming. And I had seen that people had been making videos for YouTube, but none of them really had like personality to them. It was more like someone very dry talking a walkthrough on how to beat a game. A lot of them didn't have a commentary at all. It was just someone playing a game, raw gameplay. And I was
That's
like,
what DSP
I
does.
I could add something here. If I did a video and I commentated over what I was doing, and I just kind of messed around with it because I was bored, I had nothing to do. It was like,
okay, this would be really goofy if this happened. If DSP actually started up his stream and just left the chair in the frame and then left and came back, I don't know, hours and hours later and checked the tips total, and it was huge as hell. Would DSP get in his head that, maybe I should just do streams where I'm not there? I made a lot of money, dudes. But then he'd come in tomorrow and be like, I don't remember any money. I don't know what you're talking about.
something I was looking to, I didn't think it was ever going to take off, and it blew up. It literally
like
blew up on YouTube for what reason, I have no clue. I don't know. But it did.
There was a
People
stream
really
where
liked
DSP
it.
didn't
I
talk at all
appreciated that
because
they
he had a
did.
cold or
That
something.
Channel, the original Dark Side Phil channel.
It was a
got
pretty
more
good
popular over the
stream.
course
I
of the
liked it a
years.
lot more than his usual ones.
Seriously buy games and cover them. But really, it's just never anything intent. I didn't go into it saying, oh, this is something that I want to do as a job, or this is something I think I can make money on. It never was that. And I actually did it for 2.5 years.
Yeah, like that last dude we watched, the rich
so
dude.
It was just a hobby that I made no money doing. What the hell
Cheer
was it that was
streams would be
dancing?
cool.
I can't even remember. I wrote it down. Someone in a dancing, like an outfit, a full like mascot outfit, dancing outside. Then there's another dancer, more dancers. You got a band, a marching band playing here. They're dancing outside. They're doing the dance. They're playing music. They're dancing. They dance onto the inside, and they're dancing left.
They're
and
having
right,
fun.
and flips and
They need to
dancing,
cut that out.
And they're kicking up like this, and dancing and doing all kinds of crazy shit. So they dance inside the actual arena. Dexter Manning did a super chat saying that his girlfriend has a crush on me.
Oh, reconsider.
That would be incredibly disturbing. I don't think you should do that, Dexter. I think
Yeah,
that,
let's not.
You know. And by the way, I'm not sure that your girlfriend would appreciate you saying something publicly like that. She might be very embarrassed now.
We should have Cat do a stream. DSP's sick. Better yet, Jasper. Jasper, get in here. Meow.
Disgusting. So Lily said, sadly, you lost some of your level 1 podcasts forever, especially because they were the first time with the intro. Yeah, I know. What can you do? That's how YouTube works.
Yeah.
YouTube granting false strikes without vetting anything because it's idiotic and it's automated and it's stupid.
Ooh.
I also like how they lie and they claim that we vetted those. You didn't vet anything. You literally didn't vet a thing because all you got to do is listen and you would know that's not even the song being used in the video, but you didn't vet. You know, they're just lazy.
Speaking of lazy, get out of here.
Hood, yeah, it has a hood, look. I'm ready to game, bro. Who's ready? Come on, who's ready? Who's ready?
Now, if Dr. Disrespect did this, it'd be lame as hell. Alright, get the hell out of here. Let's see. Oh my god, why are these all so weird? Let's take a quick break from DSP to check this out.
Well, my friend.
I don't know if you guys have heard, but the man, myth, possibly woman, legend herself, Chris Chan, got out of prison. I assume it was some sort of amnesty program to release psychopaths from prison. And what do you know? He got the lottery. What has Chris Chan been up to? First post-jail sighting. Let's check it out. I sure hope it's at the game place and he's getting escorted out again.
Friends, this one threw me off today. See that person right there? At first, I didn't really, I didn't
Jasper
think
would
too
be
much
killing
of
it in
this,
games.
Thinking, this guy just saw someone who kind of looks like Chris while
Oh, shit.
at Walmart, but lo and behold, there we go. You see that son.
Look at that face right there. He knows who's behind him. Hey, wait a minute. Is that Hulk Hogan? Brother, watch out. You got this, well, how do I put this nicely? Hellish monster beast behind you. Keep your wits about you.
Shoe medallion just gleaming. You know that's Chris. But yeah, some dude captured Chris walking
Still
through
has
his
the
local
medallion.
Walmart, and at first I thought, oh, these have to be old pictures. These have to be old videos. But apparently they're not, ladies and gentlemen. This was recorded today, May 1st, 2023.
Holy crap.
Now, this is
Up to
probably
date.
to most people seemingly very inconsequential. You're like, dude,
Thoughts
you
on the
making a
tractor suddenly
video
getting
of Chris
revived
Chan going
from
to
the dead?
Walmart?
Ramen,
It's like,
I'm stoked as shit.
this
I'm so
wouldn't be
happy
a
that they're
big
coming
deal if
back.
It wasn't that this is the first
That makes
sighting
me
of
really
him in
happy.
almost 2 years. Now, about a month ago, the news had broke that Chris was released from jail.
Oh, shit.
And people expected to hear from Chris almost that night. You know, people expected Chris to jump back online, to be booting up a live stream, giving everyone the details of everything that happened, but that wasn't the case. We haven't heard a peep.
It's horrifying to me that every picture of Chris Chan looks like it would be in a documentary about a silly, well, it is a silly ass serial killer. Every picture, like this right here, you have the dramatic music, and here is a shot of the killer who would later go on a hellish murder spree, shopping at Walmart, checking out those Funko Pops. Yeah, let's go see what they got in stock.
From Chris, and if you know anything about Chris, you understand just how crazy that is. So I think seeing him here, knowing that he's out in the public and all that, but he's not online really.
Is this why DSP avoids Walmart? Oh no, dude, I might run into Chris Chan there. You know, if Walmart is a kind of business that lets Chris Chan in, they'll let anybody in. He might have a point.
Does prove the point that one of the conditions for his
Chris Chan
release
skips
must have
leg
been that
day.
he has to
His
stay
legs
on
have more
camera.
definition than Dale's.
And I guess Chris is
Oh, no.
respecting that order. Now, most logically thinking people would would respect this court order, which is what I assume it is. But if you know Chris, then you know how wild it is that he's actually listening to these rules and everything.
It is wild.
You
I thought for
assume that
sure he
Chris
was
would
going to
get out
violate
and
his
just act
parole
like a spoiled
10 minutes in.
child and be like, no, I need to get back online. I need to get back playing with my toys and all that. And the toys is actually, that whole situation is kind of interesting here because you're about to see Chris's shopping cart soon.
Oh,
and
no.
It's pretty shocking what's in there because if you know
Groceries?
how Chris was before he got put in jail, that shopping cart would look a lot different than it does right here. So it seems
Let's see
like
it.
Chris is either growing up or he just can't have toys on him anymore because you know damn well that 2 years ago before Chris went into jail, there would be at least a minimum of 4 to 5 toys in this shop.
Yeah, for real. This would be a Lego set. We'd have an action figure, maybe 3 or 4 Funko Pops, a game or 2, and another Lego set. Like this would be cresting up over the cart. Maybe he's got some hidden here.
Cart. Chris would not be able to make a trip to Walmart without buying
Power
some
tools?
Lego or
I
some
got a
shit like
hand
that.
saw.
But here we are.
Might come in
This
handy
looks
for
like,
when
in
Barbara
there he's
needs to be
got
cut
a
up.
Sparkly backpack. I don't know what that other thing in the back is. Maybe
It's
it's
like a
mini
cooler.
cooler.
Yeah, it looks like a cooler.
So Chris is he's buying the essentials. Chris is clearly here today simply this clothes shopping, I guess. And there's really nothing interesting to this. I know people watching this might be going, why are we
No,
just
this is
watching
interesting
a
to me.
dude grocery shopping? What's so interesting about this? And I keep having to reiterate, it's only interesting that this is Chris because this is
It might
he
have.
looks really no different. I think that, remember we saw that picture and we were like,
It would be pretty wild if Chris Chan's cellmate was the stereotypical convict that you see in prison and movies and whatnot. Humongous, massive muscle, crashes his head on every door frame. And he basically pointed right at Chris Chan at the beginning of the time there and said, listen here, you need to get your life together, man. And I'm actually going to talk to you about it. And Chris Chan's cowering in fear, afraid to die and whatnot. He's like, seriously, cut that shit out. Let me tell you about life. Buy yourself a cooler and some clothes. And if you really must, you can keep the medallion. But stop buying toys. And Chris Chan actually listened. That'd be pretty cool.
damn, he's lost a lot of weight. He doesn't
Maybe
look
locals
like
just
that
need
in
to
this
stay in
picture.
jail.
I'm not talking
DSP after
shit
jail
on
would be
either. It's
hilarious.
just facts.
You guys
It's really
don't know
facts.
what I've
A
been
lot of
through.
people may say
You
that,
don't
well,
know what
because
they
he's put on a little more weight,
they have
this
you
may be an
do
older
inside,
picture.
you know?
But at the same time, it makes me
The
think
person you
if he's
have to
here at
be to
Walmart,
survive.
He can be out and about, and there's nothing stopping him from going to McDonald's or anything like that. And that's probably where he's been spending most of the money that he has. Now, let's be honest here. This is a very stark contrast from what we last saw Chris saying in all the letters, saying that when he got out of jail, the dimensional merge was going to happen, that he's God, that
Yeah.
everyone should be praying to him. Well,
Yeah,
here's
what happened
God
with that?
walking through Walmart on their daily gallivantings, just picking up, I guess, what they need for back at
I know this guy's being funny, but
whatever home they're staying at.
Groovy.
But it's good to see that Chris
Hey,
is
thanks for the
mental, like, his
subscription.
psyche hasn't been like changed that much because he's still got that Sonichu medallion on. I feel like if we saw
Maybe
him
it
and he
became
didn't have
surgically
the Sonichu
attached to him.
medallion on, then we'd have a problem. You know, then something
lot
would
of
be
weight.
up. Now, as I've been recording this video, it's come out that this Walmart is in Midlothian, Virginia, which is a place Chris has mentioned before, and it's not too far from Charlottesville. It's in the Richmond area. And I believe that's where Chris was arrested, right? Chris was arrested around the Richmond area.
like, look
And
at this. Look at this. This is 100% the still that would be used in a murder documentary. This guy was the killer. Look at him going through the body wash section, shampoo section. Nobody knew that 3 minutes from now he was going to chop someone in half.
So I'd assume most of y'all, like myself, thought that once Chris got out of jail, he would run right back home.
I
You know,
thought so.
Charlottesville is really kind of just right up the highway. Why not just run up there? Well, it seems like he's not able
Yeah,
to.
News Alert,
As we've
Unsolved
already
Mysteries,
talked
either
about,
one.
one of the requirements for him being out is that he can't be on the internet. He's probably in some type of group home or like some type of place around
Probably.
this area. Now,
Probably.
obviously, I don't think anyone should go look for Chris, try to
No,
send Chris out.
don't-
It seems
don't
like
get
this
involved
guy
in
who
that.
found Chris here was like a completely freak occurrence while he was going into Walmart. But I do think it proves that Chris is somewhere away from home, and as we all know, he probably wants to just go right back there. But seemingly, even though he's so close, he can't because, like, why would he be up here? I assume he has his car, but as I said,
I also noticed that he doesn't look too bad right now. He looks fairly clean. He looks fairly put together. So did he actually learn a lot about hygiene while in prison? Because you know you have mandatory shower times, you have mandatory stuff like that. Did he finally realize the importance of these kind of things?
all this shit is not really confirmed. I'm kind of just learning about this as we go
An
because
hour
someone
later,
sent
6
all this
dozen
stuff to
people
me.
lose.
I heard
God
that it
damn, he
posted
worked
on
quick.
Reddit, and now I see even Kiwi Tapes dropped a video on it. Like so people are talking about this, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them because
dark
people
as hell, Falcon.
have very much been wanting to know what's been going on with Chris since we heard that he got out of jail last month. And this being the update, like I said, it shows that people are really they're scrounging for that Chris content. They want it so badly, and even this sighting of him at Walmart is enough to be like, holy shit, stop the presses. Like
It is
they
pretty
found
cool.
him. Now, I may be assuming a lot here, but I'm just thinking because any picture we've ever seen of Chris out in public or anything, he always has his phone on him or like somewhere near him. And I'm surprised here there's been like you don't see him on his phone at all.
Maybe he's
Like I said,
well
only a
adjusted
few
now. I
pictures.
don't know.
Can you really tell that much from only a few pictures? But then in this picture here, you
That's
see
what I was
he's looking at
thinking,
what
Lackey
seems to be
Brax.
a
Maybe
list,
he-
and
maybe
knowing
he has
Chris,
his
that
life under
list would have
control.
Firmly been in his like notes or something on his phone, but it looks like an actual like a hand drawn list. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't even have a phone on him.
That'd be
We've
pretty
already
wild.
talked about the apparent order that he's not allowed to be online, but I guess this also means that he can't have a phone. I assume they go hand in hand. Other than the time that Bob died, this is really Chris's, like, I guess his biggest excursion from the internet. And the only reason it's happening is because he's simply not allowed to be on it. And it shows Chris here, you know, even out in the real world, he's got his fucking Sonichu medallion on. I mean, it's still Chris. It's still
It
Christian
still is.
without the influence of the internet. And
He doesn't have the striped shirt,
maybe
though. I
some
didn't
way,
recognize him at
somehow,
first.
Through everyone's opinions over the past like 20 years, he'll never change. He'll never change.
He's probably under
Maybe
heavy surveillance.
If
Probably.
you keep the internet far away from him, if you keep people far away from him, maybe somehow Chris can
Yeah,
change.
Little Shadow. I think that's the
But,
case.
you know, we'll have to see that. All we know right now is that Chris is at Walmart. And yeah, that's that's the big update. That's the main point of this video is that Chris is at Walmart. Like this
Got
is where
another
we've
picture
come.
here.
This is how far and how like
Another one here.
starved people have been
That's
with
not
Chris
him.
Chan content. I promised all the people out there that when an update happened, I'd update y'all, and here it is. Like here, Chris is at Walmart. It's nothing spectacular. Chris isn't like spotted at like GameStop assaulting people again.
Damn it.
Nothing like that.
I was
it's
hoping.
very-
Maybe there was a GameStop across the street from this Walmart, and he was just working his way up for it. Like he was getting a disguise. And the cooler, exactly, was going to be the murder weapon. He was going to go into that GameStop and just go nuts. Start smashing the shit out of everything, beat up a couple people, maybe kill someone. We're coming back into this, man. Got to get back into the murder game.
It's very formal of Chris. He's just here doing his doing his shopping, and I like I said, I think that's very I think it's a good sign. It's a good step in the right direction, knowing that Chris didn't just jump.
What does he have? He has like some sort of ribbon that it's attached to. I thought it was like a chain or something. No, he's got a ribbon holding it. Damn, that's classy as shit. I dig it.
Right back online that he is out of jail, and he's actually like even if it's by force, even if the government or
exactly, Dustin. I think we should probably leave Chris Chan alone.
You can't have no phone, you can't have no internet access. It's for the best for Chris. Because obviously I know people want him on here making an ass out of himself like he always does, but he's been doing it for 20 years. I think there's nothing more interesting than seeing how Chris would genuinely react without the internet as like a factor.
I agree. He might become the most well-adjusted version of himself.
Who took these pictures and all seemingly just ran into Chris at Walmart.
Might be to carry extra pepper spray.
If he did, then he
I've stocked up.
Forgot about his trip.
He starts dual-wielding it.
It seems like he just walked around Walmart taking pictures of Chris everywhere he could. Chris probably noticed, but I highly doubt he said anything, because like there's a lot of pictures from a lot of different angles here.
Yeah,
this dude had to be alert.
Yeah, look at him; he's right on top of him here.
How good of timing it is that Chris returned like on the second anniversary.
Yeah, that's definitely a cooler.
DSP's meeting. I guess.
Oh shit! This guy's toxified.
All the spotlight today. It's also very interesting that Chris returns right after Ralph and his wife get divorced. So the curse of Chris Chan on Ralph really took effect, and now Chris is back here in the public. He's done all the work he needed to wherever he was in Quickville.
Okay, so he's in the crafts aisle here. He's looking at thread and stuff. Because I've been in here in Walmart. Is he like gonna try and sew something? Maybe he's doing like a sewing project. That'd be good for Chris. Chris needs to get into some better versions of art that don't involve him drawing comics of him killing people and becoming God and having sex while God. I think sewing would do you some good, dude.
All that shit, which is where I'd assume Chris still wants to be. Like, don't get it fucked up. I know I just was talking about how like Chris could change. Maybe we could see that. I mean, it's wishful thinking, because in that mind of that person you see right there, you know the only thing he's thinking about is, man, how sick would it be if like the doors in here just bolted open and a flash of yellow lightning ran right next to me and said, "Hey, Chris, like, you ready to turn into Chris Chan Sonichu and save the world?" Like,
hell yeah.
He looks up and Mewtwo's there, but then he just like, snaps back to reality and he remembers, oh yeah, I'm in like the kitchen aisle at Walmart, and it's
not the kitchen aisle.
He'll always think like that. I think even until the day Chris dies, he will think like in that Quickville mindset where he's like the hero, everything's cartoons and all that stuff. It's something that he'll never rid himself of, and you can clearly see that because I mean he's still.
But he does seem to be.
Medallion. I know.
He does seem to be doing a little better though.
He's been doing it for God knows how long, but the fact that he's still wearing it even after getting out of jail, they probably put a lot of work in trying to take that shit out of his mind, and didn't work. Didn't work because it looks like Chris hasn't missed a beat.
Yeah, if he wasn't wearing that Sonichu medallion, I would say he's a completely different person. But he already seems a little different because he looks a little bit better put together than he normally does. Normally, whenever I saw him, he looked like just a homeless man going crazy. And now he looks more like, well, honestly, it's like some sort of weird ant, I guess, but with a Sonichu medallion. And he's buying reasonable stuff. Maybe this thing is like surgically grafted to his chest and he can't remove it.
But yeah, we're gonna have to see what happens now, because I can't imagine updates are gonna be coming out like so quick that we're not gonna be able to handle ourselves. It's gonna be slow.
Yeah, like in Tenchu, Falcon.
Don't expect the Chris Chan stuff to ever really be what it once was, you know?
No, I don't think it'll ever be back to
hope
that.
Like someone's gonna troll him and do all this, but I think those days have come and gone. Other than this, there have been a few other things going on in Chris's life, or at least like surrounding Chris. Number one being that the Praetor released even more jail art from Chris, and you know, we've covered it a lot in videos, but this new batch they put out, I talked about it in the video a few weeks ago. To me, it just doesn't look right. And I think a lot of other people have had their suspicions on it too.
Wait, what's this?
it's strange, you know. It seems like it probably is from Chris, maybe, like maybe just the drawings, but maybe they're filling in the speech bubbles. I don't know. But now that Chris is out of jail, maybe he has no reason that he can't sell it on his own. Maybe not over the internet, but then again, I guess where else would he sell it? Like on a street corner somewhere, like
Trying to find
I
this
don't know,
art.
like an arts festival. I don't know. Like this is
Yeah, I'll look for
obviously
it
his
later.
best option here to sell it through these people. But yeah, the jail art just seemed a little weird. Didn't want to cover it. Didn't feel like it was necessary. But like, I'm happy I didn't now. Because
All right, I think that's enough. Let's move back to DSP. Okay, the rant about Review Tech USA and brings up his kids. Nice.
So someone says, I thought you were owning the meme. What's happened? There's a difference between owning a meme and then wanting to move on from it, and then someone who actually acts like a 5-year-old in a schoolyard. And I've already made it abundantly clear.
But that's not really the case with DSP. DSP will want to move on, but then joke about it. But then you're not allowed to joke about it. But he can reference it, but you're not allowed to reference it. That's not really moving on then, DSP. If you make everyone else move on and you don't have to, that's not moving on. You do get that, right?
Why? I've
No DSP for 2 days. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow.
7 years ago.
I guess I'll watch it. This Is How You Don't. You know what? That's what I want to do. I want to get high and watch it. This Is How You Don't Play. I mean,
my whole personal life was falling apart at the seams.
engage in
my life
some
here was
sort
awful.
of silliness.
I was
There you go.
essentially living like a life separate from
We all
the
know
person
this.
I was
Chris
living
Church will
with
do
at the time.
absolute best to
We
make sure
weren't
Chris
even
nerve.
in any
Yeah,
kind
I
of
kind of hope they kind of
relationship.
lay off
It was
Chris,
very
because
stressful.
what if he
It was
actually
awful.
gets his shit together?
I was messed up. I was drinking heavily. I was essentially at a time in my life I don't want to think about, which is why, that happened to begin with. It's very fucked up and depressing. And I've already explained this in detail many times on the internet. But there's people who think that shit's funny. Phil was depressed and...
Let's see here. I remember something bad was happening to someone else, and you could easily see that they were depressed and maybe bummed out. Some dude, Jared something or other, and he was apparently going through some sort of shit, if I remember correctly. And if I also remember correctly, DSP was very quick to piss all over him and then use that piss to build a platform to do a debunk stream. I don't know, maybe I'm taking him out of context. But I definitely remember DSP crapping on a lot of people who had depression.
was fucked up in the head and was feeling awful.
He
about
still
his
did
life
what he did?
himself.
Yeah.
And
Chris
did
Chan
something
still did
really
what he
fucking
did.
stupid
There's no
and
excusing what he
embarrassing
did.
because of it.
I want
Let's just
to
bring it
pause
up.
here for a second. There's kind of a reason why I don't really get into too much Chris Chan stuff, and that's because I do feel like Chris Chan was a person that would have been better off left alone. Because we do have this obsession with who's on the dole, who's on welfare, who's getting our disability checks that we're paying for. And I understand that a lot of people are very angry about this. When someone who looks like they're capable are making money by doing nothing. Yes, I understand that anger. However, if you really looked at Chris Chan, even from the start, this dude was never going to be functional. This dude was crazy. So, on some level, you kind of have to just let shit go. So, okay, you know what? Fine. Be on welfare, sit in your house all day drawing cartoons, play with your Legos. Fine. And then we saw what happened when that started getting messed with, because then he started getting crazier and crazier and crazier, and then he raped his mom. I understand that what Chris Chan did was unthinkably evil. Even Sigmund Freud found it revolting. But I want to stress that Chris Chan did not become the crazy-ass Chris Chan that we know in a vacuum. He's not like DSP. DSP is ostensibly functional. He's just crazy and stupid on his own.
Forever. It's like, no.
Do trolls ever go to the chat and post messages?
On a schoolyard at fucking elementary school.
No.
Right? You
No,
bully
they haven't
someone,
done that,
pick
posting
on
his
someone,
WBC
you know,
battle number.
It's horrible. It's like a fucking mentally distressing time of my fucking life that I don't want to think about again. You know? I don't want to think about it. My wife hates when people bring it up because I'm past that. I'm a better person.
How do you know how does she know that someone brought it up? I have a feeling that DSP is the one who tells her. Because who's telling Kat anything? Kat has no internet presence anymore. She's not on Twitter. She's not on YouTube. She has nothing. So how is she getting this information? Are people emailing her? Are people are people going to her work and leaving flash drives in her mailbox or something? How does she get this information? The only person that I can think that gives this information to Kat is DSP. Unless he's blasting videos from detractors on the TV downstairs, I don't see how she could ever know this stuff.
I'm in a better place in my life now, and the fact that there's people that can't get by that. Just think about it this way, all right?
That's pretty good
started
evidence,
making
Lackberg. I like that
regular
idea.
content on the internet, on YouTube, probably around the spring of 2009. I mean, I sporadically was making videos like fall of 2008.
That tile work, you like it,
Spring
huh?
of 2009, I started making very serious, like tons of consistent content.
Okay.
All right, all the way through now. Like I never stopped. Now, if you do the math, spring of 2009 through, you know what they're talking about, the incident of 2016 is about 7 years. Okay.
I'm following. I got
If you
you.
do the math, the incident until now is 7 years.
Yeah, halfway
I
point.
have made just as much content in my time on YouTube after that stupid thing happened than before. You understand? I've been...
But why would she watch the streams? I don't understand that, Ramen Brahman. If DSP is such a toxic individual and has such toxic fan base and toxic detractors, why would she ever want to watch that? Because, I mean, I don't really understand. Because he has also said on many occasions that she does not watch any of his content. So which one is it, really? Of course, like you said, it's DSP, so it's immediately suspect, whatever it is. And from what he said, she was watching the interview, the side scrollers interview, and that's when she mentioned something, and that's what made him so cranky. I think, anyway. I don't really get how she's getting access to this information that DSP has intentionally tried to keep her from. It's almost like it's bullshit, huh, DSP?
I've grown, I've changed, I've made way more positive content and become a better person from who I was back then. I have completely moved past that.
It is weird how
part
much
of my life.
IQ can
Why
affect
in
things.
the fuck would I want to keep reminding myself of how messed up and depressed and sad I was at that point in my life and how awful it was? Things are so much better now. Why would I want to think about it constantly? But the thing is, the people who talk about it don't care. They love my misery. The day that I don't feel good is a day that they feel good about themselves because they feel like they got something out of life because they made someone else feel bad and got away with it.
Why, DSP, do you think that's become the way that it is? Why do you think that people would find joy in your misery, DSP? Why does anyone really ever feel joy for another person's misery? Yes, there are two main categories. One, because you are needlessly bullying someone because you are insecure about your own failings. That tends to happen with bullies, yes. But what's the other main reason that it happens?
Groovy.
Hey, thank you for the subscription. Welcome aboard, Nightwalker. What's the other reason that people celebrate another person's misery? DSP knows the answer because he's done it himself. When it feels like a person who has done a lot of bad things finally gets their comeuppance, it feels good. Because in real life, most bad people don't actually suffer any negative consequences for what they did. Most of the time, they don't. DSP is a terrible human being who's been awful to nearly every person on the planet. You know, just give him time, he'll get to you personally if he can. Why wouldn't you enjoy seeing this dude miserable? The dude who basically declared war on every single thing, from amiibos to Minecraft to Dr. Disrespect. The dude who shit on the planet. Why wouldn't you feel a little bit of joy? Of course, DSP will never accept this. He doesn't think he's ever been criticized fairly. Everyone's shitting on him for no reason. He says it over and over again. They hate me for no reason. And it's because his brain refuses to comprehend that people do have their reasons. There's been times that DSP has genuinely angered me. And because of that, I don't feel bad when I see you suffer. Did you feel bad when you yelled at that person who was to deliver your headphones because you didn't get your headphones the second you wanted them? Did you feel bad, DSP? No. I'm going to give just as much empathy as you did.
That's the kind of people who do things, like bring that up constantly.
DSP is a novella. He's very much a soap opera.
They're the kind of people you want
Declared war on all his friends, yes.
People who you don't want to spend time with because they're toxic. All right, that's
people
the kind
I know
of
who
people
changed keep reminding me that they've changed.
I'm
Oh
gonna
wait,
build
yeah.
a positive life over here.
Right.
Stay away from this toxic individual who literally only focuses on people's failure. Okay, I'm done with that. So what I mean. Like, I'm just gonna stay away.
But that's not true, because I'm capable of celebrating people's successes. Many people in my chat have discussed things that they're working on, things that they've overcome, things that they've accomplished. In DSP's narrative of the world, I wouldn't be capable of doing that. You know, I've had former alcoholics. I'm not going to call out names because it's not really my place to. I've had former alcoholics. I've got people who are working on various projects and whatnot. I celebrate that shit. Good job. DSP just doesn't get it. He thinks that people are just monolithically evil. That people come and shit on him, therefore they must be evil in general. No, we just don't like you. What's so hard to understand about this?
Yes, do I own it? Of course I do.
I'm done. Next clone.
Next
clone still thinks the battle's going.
I made more content after the fact than before. Fucking years ago.
Speaking clone.
I made more content after the fact than before.
He just said it was the same amount.
You say to me that this is something representative of who I am today and something I need to even bring up or care. I don't care. I don't. I'm done with it. And all it is, it's very simple. It's bullying. When people do it, they feel better about themselves because there's something wrong with them.
Oh, something's wrong with me.
Kind of online bullying actually have something wrong up
Oh,
here.
wrong with me in my head.
Themselves in their own personal lives.
Should I go talk to my physician about this?
You know?
What the hell would I be jealous of, DSP? I will admit, there are little things that I'm jealous about, DSP. I wish I could sit on my ever-widening ass and yell at people and beg for money and get money for free and then shit all over everyone and forget that you gave me money and keep doing it and not actually work a goddamn minute in my life. You know what? You're right. That does sound like a really cool-ass deal, DSP. It's a wonder you're so damn miserable when you live such an amazing life, DSP. I obviously envy you. Look at how happy you are. You're happy as shit, man.
Who knows? I'm not a fucking psychiatrist who's going to...
Yeah, I'm jealous of DSP's bankruptcy.
Someone who's going to do something like that. So, it's that simple. I'm not going to waste my time on those kind of people. And in particular, because I know people want to bring up Rich, this is a guy...
Yeah, Memento. I think about that too sometimes.
One of his kids was very sick, and I got wind of this. Someone told me about it. And I actually looked into it, and it's true. One of his kids is very sick. I hope they're better, by the way, because I don't know. And I felt real bad because I know that we had some bad blood. And I personally reached out to the guy behind the scenes, and I said, you know, no bad blood is worth the stress of having a family member who's really ill. I've been there, and I wanted you to know that I hope that your daughter feels better. And I kind of want to squash whatever we have. You know, in fact, would you like to have a conversation? Would you like to maybe come on my show and just talk? Have a candid conversation?
That sounds scummy as hell already. Hey, man, do you want to come into this, like, you know, monetized environment where, you know, people could give me money and discuss what's been going on in your life? You know, the tragedies that you've been dealing with? You know, maybe I could make some cash out of this? No!
Just being real.
How about a phone call? Phone call's a little better.
Rather than being at each other's throats and making fun of each other. And he basically said he would be interested in that. But he couldn't make it that day, and we were going to try to set it up.
The reason why Phil's not like.
So,
yeah,
that was a conversation.
He has a million reasons to not like him.
And then literally, I'm not shitting you, within 24 hours of that conversation, he went on Twitter and he fucking shat all over me and insulted me publicly.
So we just saw the Dr. Disrespect thing where DSP saw this post and turned it into a whole other thing where Dr. Disrespect was basically peeing on everyone and calling everyone a bunch of lowlifes and shitheads and all this and that. DSP clearly lied about that. He was saying he literally said this when he did not. And now DSP is complaining that Review Tech shit on him on Twitter. He was being nasty. DSP, this is why I can't trust you when you say stuff like this, because you just lied about Dr. Disrespect. And also, you lie about what is considered negative to you a lot. I was watching some more This Is How You Don't Plays the other day, and I was paying specific attention to the nasty, toxic comments. They were relatively benign. They were just saying that you're bad at games and that you're an idiot. That's not really that toxic of a comment. You are an idiot, and you are bad at the game. Sorry. I'm just telling it like it is, dude. And so you're going to sit here and tell me that Review Tech said nasty, horrible, toxic shit. He probably just said, yeah, Phil's kind of an idiot. That's what I'm willing to bet already, and I'm not even going to bother to go check it out because it doesn't matter to me that much. But also, maybe Review Tech USA saw what I'm seeing here, and that you are using this opportunity when his kid is sick to approach when he's most emotionally vulnerable to try and pignosis your way to, forgiveness. You're trying to bury that hatchet, which to me is kind of scummy. Yes, it is okay. Hey, man, I saw that your kid's not doing well. I'm sorry about that, man. Just want you to know that I feel for you. And, that's enough. That's really enough. But DSP can't be satisfied with that. No, he needs something back. He needs you to adore him now. No. I appreciate your well wishes. Thank you. That means a lot. You are still a scumbag. This did not delete what you have done before.
So what the fuck kind of person is that? Why the fuck would I
The
waste
part
my
is
time with
mass
that guy?
clip.
He's a
DSP
scumbag.
thinks being neutral means
He
not saying
literally
anything
took
bad or
my
having criticism.
goodwill.
Exactly.
I want to be nice to you because I feel bad because you're having a bad time in your life. I sympathize, empathize. I've been there.
Remember when Rich on
I just want us to not have beef. I don't want to have beef
Yeah.
with anyone. Let's just be fucking cool with each other. And then he literally took that, said thanks.
That
and he
goodwill and
slammed it down
beholden
on
to
the
him,
ground
yeah,
and he stomped it
toxic.
in his face, and he laughed at it.
Rejected
and
the
he
PC.
made fucking nasty tweets about me. So Rich can go fuck himself. I want nothing to do with the guy ever again. Really, if you think that Rich is someone to be looked up to or even enjoy his content, you're a fucking idiot. You need to look in the mirror at yourself and say, what the fuck's wrong with me? This guy is a piece of shit. And I'm following him and I like his stuff. Someone who's going to have an entire event based around bullying someone who doesn't care about him and wants to...
Didn't DSP have an event that was built upon the foundation of him being successful at bullying someone? I'm having this... I'm sorry about this, chat, but I just have this really fuzzy memory. This dude had kind of like a weird angled face. Looks like you could kind of jimmy open doors with his face. His name was Jared something or other, and it's like he just... DSP crapped all over him. And then, because he was successful in bullying... I don't know, it's not coming to me very clearly.
Nothing to do with him, all right? It's time to really have a self-assessment here of who you are and realize this is not the kind of person you want as part of your life, all right? Really. And it's just pathetic because this is a guy who not only knows he has 1 million subs on YouTube and knows that people will actually follow the things he says and does, he's irresponsible with it. This is the kind of person I talk about all the time, where when you have a following on YouTube or anywhere, you need to be responsible with your following. Life is not all jokes for everyone. Life is not all fun and games and pranks and, everyone should just laugh at everything.
I give you permission to flag this man's inbox with so much stupid shit that he'll never do that again. Or let's see here. What was the other one? Oh, you send emails to this game company or stuff like that. DSP has shown no responsibility with his fan base. Now, granted, he doesn't have his fan base really act up that much across the internet because they're too whipped. Whatever.
There's people who go through real life shit who don't need your shit. I outright told Rich earlier this year, I don't need your shit.
Just realized
I got
he's
so
wondering.
much personal shit going on in my life. I don't need more stress from you. He doesn't care.
Yeah, that's a good
He
idea.
does it
That's a
anyway
good thought,
because
Lackey Bracky.
he personally gets laughs
That it's
and
some
gets
sort of
out it.
shackle
So
for
he
him,
doesn't
yeah.
care who he hurts or stomps on. That's the kind of guy he is. But he'll portray himself like a nice guy to the internet when in reality, he's just another fucking scumbag like everybody else. And the
Everyone
real
else.
sad fact about this all right, I'm sorry to say it, is that not only does he have fans, but he has kids.
This is really shitty, DSP.
And
You
now-
should stop right here.
Later on in life,
You should
they're
stop
gonna look back
right
at his
here.
behavior on the internet, and they're gonna think that that's okay. That it's okay to bully people. That it's okay to be nasty to people because that's
DSP has ventured into low tier god territory. Low tier god does this a lot, where he says, "And this guy has kids. Man, I can't believe this piece of shit Frogga has kids. Oh my god, I just can't imagine it." Okay, DSP, yeah, he's got kids. Do you think that his kids are going to be ashamed of him? That they're going to see his behavior and think, "Oh my god, my dad's so toxic." That, or he also thinks that his kids are going to take after him. But I trust that they would. Oh my god, did someone actually donate in his... Hold on, I gotta see this real quick. Did someone send a donation? Put me on the leaderboard. Okay, that's really funny. That's pretty good. $6.72, $2. Put me on the leaderboard. All right, thank you. What was I saying? Whatever.
That's what Dad did. That's
Yeah.
fucked up.
That his kids will just be bullies too. My dad taught me that bad people do bad things, and that while I should be empathetic to them, understand that bad people tend to just keep doing bad things. Is that why I'm like the way that I am, DSP? Because my dad bullied people? I thought that this dude was all about tell it like it is. Maybe he's telling it like it is, and his kids will respect him for that and understand it. You shouldn't bring up people's kids into this, DSP. Mostly because anything you have to say is going to be immediately stupid, because you would be a terrible dad. You would be a god-awful father. How do you think DSP's kids would turn out? Being raised by him, being subjected to the things that he did, being told about the things that, "Did you know what your dad, the guy, did when he did this, this, and this?" And they're going to come home and say, "Dad, Phil, is it true that you did this?" No, I never did that. But they have video footage of you doing it. "Oh, that's taken out of context. But I watched the entire context. Look, you dumbass kid, do you want to get banned?" DSP would raise some of the worst kids that could happen. So he's not in any position to judge people's parenting.
That's legitimately fucked up.
Rich's
Really?
kids will be
You
more
think they're gonna be
embarrassed if
insulated
their
from this
classmates show them
behavior
videos
for the
of him
rest of their
taking his
lives?
shirt off.
No, they're not going to be. They're
Yeah,
going to know
probably.
exactly what he's doing. They're going to get wind of it when they get older. And they're going to say, "My dad used to bully people on the
But
internet.
Phil,
What
when
the
he does
fuck is this?
overtime
He
with
used to
high
make
schoolers,
money
you're now
bullying
indebted to him." Yeah, about that.
I could never live with that. Really. I could never live with that with myself if that was me doing it. I couldn't.
That's a good point, Ramen Brahman.
So,
He sets standards way too high
It's
for other
pretty
people.
fucked up, man. And, I hope that he'll fucking wise up someday. But at this
DSP
point,
still has the stream going,
I
yes.
don't think so. I think when you see
'Cause
someone
he has it
that's
scheduled.
that far gone, you can't. I gave this guy the benefit of the doubt so many times. I tried to extend the olive branch so many times. To this
You
man.
extended the olive
And
branch
every
under
time that
very
I try,
shady
he stomps
conditions.
on it and he shits on me again right away for personal benefit. So at this point, I know things are never going to change. I know he will always be that kind of person, and I'm done with him. All right? So he can do whatever he wants, but any of his idiotic, mouth-drooling lackeys who come to my stream today to try to make me miserable, especially on today, I already told you guys, I've got a lot of fucked up stuff going on in my life right now. I don't need it. And the fact that he's got his people coming over here being fucking nasty to me just shows the kind of person he is. I'm done with this man. I want nothing to do with him. In fact, after this moment, I don't ever want to bring him up ever again.
But you
I'm
will.
done with this fucker.
You will.
He's so insignificant to anything I care about on this planet. And by the way, this isn't new. This is a guy who's done this to me for like a decade.
Phil was spying on Rich.
Constantly
Yes.
talking about me in his fucking
He might be
content.
trying to
Shut
roll
the
up on
fuck
Rich
you
right now.
idiot. No one fucking should care about you. You're such a dunce. You're so insignificant to anything.
Phil, did you do this? No. This looks like a different guy.
Fuck up. This is the kind of person who doesn't deserve a platform because they're just an online bully.
All right. Feel better, DSP? You got it all out of your system?
So I'm done with it.
Okay.
And that's it. That's
Cool.
my last word on it.
Sure looks like you have a lot
Rich,
more
go
last
fuck
word.
yourself. Leave me alone forever. I want nothing to do with you.
All
You're
right.
a scumbag. You've proven it time and time again. I'm done with it.
So, what is Rich going to stop doing? Oh, Rich is going to keep doing what he's doing, DSP. It doesn't matter if you say you're done with it forever and ever and ever. That doesn't matter. The only way this shit stops, DSP, is when you stop reacting. I would think you would have learned this in first grade. Teacher, Timmy keeps doing this thing and it's bothering me. I learned that you shouldn't acknowledge the things that bother you, because then people are naturally going to do it again. And often people who do it aren't necessarily malicious. They just think it's funny. Like, I know some things about my friends that bothers them, and I do it anyway because it's just kind of funny to me. And vice versa. They do it to me. But DSP interprets everything that bothers him as being some sort of malicious attack. And furthermore, he doesn't understand that he should just not tell people things that bother him. Oh, this bothers me. It makes my wife cry. Well, you understand you have a toxic fan base and a toxic detractor base, and they're going to bring it up. So don't tell people. Those Dutch brothers need to send this dude a copy of Art of War, because this Chinese dude wrote a book about this kind of shit, and he says, don't tell people your weaknesses. Don't tell people your buttons. Don't even ban people sometimes. Just let them talk silently. Because if you ban them, it draws attention to the thing that bothers you.
Okay, RZ dollar tip.
I don't get it. I'm a victim, pay me. Of course it wasn't genuine. Phil's interaction. No.
No. It's one of his trolls.
Yeah, ban him.
People, literally, I'm not even kidding you. The message, oh, cyberbullying isn't real. Wow. why don't you ask Rich about that? Your buddy. Why don't you ask Rich about that, right? I think you should.
Just turn off the stream, DSP. Walk away from the computer. You can't be cyberbullying without your consent.
Why don't you ask him about cyberbullying? Because he's been the victim of it and he's bitched about it too, but then he just does it. That's the difference is if you're actually a victim of something and you know how bad it can be.
Exactly. He repeatedly tells people how to antagonize him.
You know how negatively
it's so stupid. I don't get it.
You wouldn't do it to someone else, right? People who are the victims of a bad raising, your parents were being mean and abusive to you. You don't then go and be abusive to your own kids because you learn from the worst and you know not to be abusive to you. Right? Family, and you're a victim of something. Why don't you ask him about cyberbullying? Because he's been the victim of it and he's bitched about it too, but then he just does it. That's the difference is if you're actually a victim of something and you know how bad it can be for you and you know how bad it could be for your family and you know how negatively it can affect you, you wouldn't do it to someone else, right? People who are the victims of a bad rape.
But DSP, say he's being cyberbullied for things that he did, but he is still capable of seeing that another person is bad and trolling them. That's not necessarily the same thing, man. Like okay, say for example, I ran into my bully of, grade school or whatever, and he's like broken down on the side of the road or whatever. I can still pull up to him and say, hey man, you need a ride? Hop on in, and then drive off as soon as he reaches for the door handle. I'm still within my right to do that and still make myself feel like I'm the better person for it, or I had my revenge, or that I'm still on the moral high ground. DSP would try and pretend like, oh, now you're both equal because you bullied him. No. That's not how it works, DSP. I know you want to believe that's how it works because that's very self-serving, but it's not.
Your parents were being mean and abusive to you. You don't then go and be abusive to your own kids because you learn from the worst and you know not to do that. You suffered me, right? Well, Rich is not that way. Rich, he just passes that toxicity along and continues that history of
I barely remember that Richard
Young. Of people. He just doesn't
the cyberbullying thing.
Okay. So we're done. I'm not going to talk about these dumb lackeys or anything either. These fucking idiots coming in here with dollar tips. I'm just going to tell you to go fuck yourself like you deserve and get out of here. And we'll move on, okay?
Feel better?
All right. So that's that. We're good with shout-outs for now. Now we can get back to normalcy. I got it off my chest, right? We're done.
You don't have to.
Now we can move on positively, correct? Thank you. That's it for that. I don't want to hear any more of this nonsense today. I'm done with it. Okay.
All right. Feel better? Toxicity. People taught him how to pronounce words wrong intentionally because it's funny. What was the other thing? Oh, Review Tech responding to the rant. I wanted to see that one, and there's one other one. This one's shorter. We'll watch this one first. DSP claims to be tired because of the stress and falls asleep multiple times.
sucks to be stressed out. I don't like being stressed out.
I've started
Obviously,
pronouncing it
knows,
like that, by the way,
but,
Darksea.
You know, just shitty stuff going on, and
I catch myself all the time talking in my DSP impersonation, and it's really super embarrassing because outside of the context of DSP, the DSP voice just sounds so goofy and cartoonish that it immediately makes you sound like a complete dummy. And I forget that not everyone knows about the guy and gets the impression. There's been at times at work where someone would say something that's like a DSP phrase. Oh, I remember one of them was someone was saying it was a microwave Italian style something or other. And I said, Italian style, huh? And then immediately wanted the ground to open up and swallow me. Oh, God. I just said the dumbest voice ever. And my coworker looked at me so confused. Like, what was that? It's like, don't worry about it. I have no idea what you're talking about.
you know, I really can't talk about it. Let's put it that way. It's private stuff. And, you know, I talked a little bit about this morning on the podcast. I was like, you know, today, because of personal stuff going on behind the scenes, I might be in a bad mood. You know, I might have things going on. And
oh, so I might berate you.
Incredible amount of brainless trolling idiots who came by the stream earlier. Oh, by the way, my camera's messed up. I have to fix it. Hold on, I'll fix that right now. Outside of those people, I would say the first.
It's possible. My theory, Ziggy Piggy, is that Cat has diabetes.
Do we finish the Indian
and he can't beg about
as
it.
much as we could.
And she's probably pissed that he used all the money on stupid crap instead of treatment.
But I've not had any more. No, we had the leftover. I tell you, we're eating in order. So the thing we had made first this week was pasta fazool. So that has to be eaten.
Do
first
what
before
now?
we So we had that, and tomorrow same thing. It's gonna be. It's basically going to be
Team liver cirrhosis. That's really rough.
So.
The bottom line is this: I need a donation liver, so
No,
donate
I have no idea
today.
if I wore this shirt last year on this date. I don't track what shirts I wear on what dates at all. The only time I
It would be rough, especially since they would not be able to stop themselves. Either one of them would have to lose a leg before they started taking it seriously. That might have been what happened. Now, that's super dark speculation territory. But what if all these operations and whatnot that he had to get to, all these appointments that they had to get to, was Kat had to have a leg cut off? And then she's having physical therapy and stuff. Again, I don't want this to be true. I'm just trying to understand what could have happened. For the DSP spies that sometimes go into stream chats, I'm not saying these things happened. I don't even necessarily want them to happen. But I'm saying it could make sense given certain things. That would be super rough. And, man, he would go nuclear if that information ever got out. Jesus.
Well, I have one Resident Evil shirt, so if it's not in the
miscarriage,
wash,
maybe.
that.
If that's the case,
Get out of here.
maybe that's good fortune.
This way.
Hi,
Kiflin?
I am Kiflin, steward of Lady Sil.
Look at this poor dude. He is zonking out. Good night, everyone. See you next stream.
Wow. Hey, this is how am I doing today?
I think something is wrong with his eyes because he's...
First stream went good. I really enjoyed the progress in Elden Ring. We had a chill time, but as I explained earlier
Wow,
in the podcast,
detached red now. Well, that'd be...
my life that are very stressful. And,
possibly.
you know, it sucks. It definitely takes...
Miscarriage of tips. I lost my... Is that basically a chargeback? A miscarriage?
I feel exhausted. I feel stressed out.
That's super dark. I shouldn't joke about that.
With this stream or anything we're doing right now, or our conversation.
It's rollback netcode at least.
And you know, I wish that wasn't the case, but it's just that's.
I think even if he had cancer, I wouldn't necessarily feel bad because that's just friendly fire, really. And good night, Phil.
Oh, this is a complete insulting racist name, so let me just go and ban this.
Oh shit! Is it the Chinese words you were saying that one time?
Retching up.
POP thought he was faking the sleepiness. Possibly. Well, hold on a second. Okay, so let's test this real quick. What does he have to do? He has to walk up a staircase and then turn. Can he do that? Yeah, he can. Still a little sleepy-eyed.
Oh, this is a complete insulting racist name. So let me just go and ban this idiot.
Yeah, he doesn't do the normal bobbing when he falls asleep. Yeah, I guess that's true. This is some sort of 5D hyper chest begging he's about to do, huh? You guys saw me falling asleep on stream. I really need
I
money.
understand the sentiment, actually. I really can. The older I get sometimes, right? I think we all kind of feel like this from time to time, right?
Ban.
What's up, Chrome Abyss? I'm tired tonight, but...
Go ahead and ban this Joker. Get him out of here. Racist name. Ban.
Super chat, he says, $2 to take a back in the yellow path in the yellow.
I wonder if DSP listens to Japanese characters talk to go to sleep when it's bedtime. Hey, cat, I'm gonna go ahead and play this Yakuza dialogue.
I don't know.
That's true. That's true, Thirst Annihilator.
So I got a couple tips.
Huh.
First tip
I'm
here.
glad people point this stuff out.
See here.
It could be that he's stressed and tired from the cat situation.
We got a $7 tip from Mishael. Thank you, Mishael, for a $7 tip. I appreciate that.
I think I'm not trying to do it.
Man, I really do think I need to get another coffee. I'm feeling like I'm tired, man. I don't know. Like I said.
Yeah, you guys are probably onto something here.
Things on me today. One of which is definitely stress. And I think maybe having a second coffee might actually be in my best interest.
You should just go ahead and do cocaine, DSP. I honestly think DSP would do great with cocaine. It might actually even some stuff out with him.
All right. Anyway, Lord Prince Albert did another super
For one
chat.
thing,
He
his
said,
sinuses would
"Super
clear
stats
up,
for
that's for sure.
Relaxation was 100.
You'd never hear another snort ever again.
100 fluctuants.
What are you guys talking about?
What do you mean,
I haven't
relaxation
snorted in
was
over
100?
6 months.
The fecal matter? That's pretty disgusting. But still, some people might make use of that if they're constipated or
DSP
something.
doesn't need white noise.
But the question is, how could the calming pants take effect? Is when
That's
you're
funny,
pooping, you have
Ziggy.
to have them down. So technically, the only way the calming pants could work is to have them pulled up. But then if they relax the sphincter and loosen your bowels, you're just going to unload inside of the pants.
Yeah,
So
that
it's
doesn't
kind of a double-edged
work that
sword,
way
right?
with me with stress. Now, it can happen that stress keeps you awake for so long that you get tired during the day.
Oh, Lord Prince Albert did a super chat to clarify.
I guess.
He meant the pants give you plus 100 flatulence, not fluctuance. It must have been a bad autocorrect.
Very funny, DSP. Snort,
So,
snort,
we
coke.
just learned to see fluctuance. Well, who would say that? Like some maybe a mathematician or someone who's in engineering who's measuring.
Richard, that's why I have that goofy ass theory that I have. I really think it was something that Kat said to him that made him stressed out. I think Kat is finally saying negative things to him or finally calling out his behaviors. I think Kat might be starting to break some moments of pygnosis. And that's why DSP is stressed. Because if that happens just even a little bit, it's very hard to rein a person back in. At least for DSP anyway. That's why he usually just shows them the door as soon as someone starts breaking the pygnosis. But he can't really do that with Kat. Well, first of all, he needs laundry done, so she needs to stay right there, thank you. And that's honestly the only thing that I could think of that could stress out this dude. Because, like you said, this dude doesn't care about anybody. He doesn't care about anyone's opinions or anything that's really happening around him. The only way he would start caring enough to get tense or have tension is if someone that he can't ban is starting to get critical of him.
Fluctuations in something scientific.
Stress can keep
So we just learned that
whatever
Lord
the
Prince
problem
Albert
is.
actually
Yeah, money will help
quite
things, I'm
a
sure.
high-end scientist. Lord Prince Albert did a super
Yeah,
chat saying
money
he
is
has
also
another
a
idea
stressor.
For the $100 goal, you should buy a money gun that shoots out bills and use it.
Kat, you need to get out
when
now.
you
You're
go,
toxic.
Oh my God, a money gun.
My fucking ears. I think I'm deaf now.
By the way, there have been no tips. I hope that the tips.
God damn it. The tips are falling asleep too.
But it never came through. So I'm hoping that that was just a troll and not that my tips are broken. I wouldn't know.
The usual suspects.
By the way,
When
81
you're
likes.
caught,
We're
you can
very
sleep like a
close
baby.
to
Huh.
a bubble blowing goal.
I remember seeing the movie. I don't remember that part.
Who fucking cares?
I have these clothes that I found, so I bought these over a decade
Okay,
ago.
quick aside. The usual suspects, if anyone's seen the movie. I remember one time in college where the teacher was discussing the movie. She was like a literary teacher or something. I normally liked the class just because of the projects I could do, but her instruction was often obnoxious. But she went on this long-ass session one time talking about how The Usual Suspects is an allegory for repressed homosexuality, which the evidence that she used to base that claim was some of the most watery, lame-ass no substance excuse ever. To the point where if you used her curriculum or her criteria, every single movie is about repressed homosexuality. Every movie. Star Wars, super gay allegory. DSP's favorite movie, Birth of a Nation, super gay allegory.
When I was traveling constantly for,
I think so. I think she was on something about that.
covering events like E3 and stuff like that. And I bought a bunch of clothing that's considered travel clothing. What it is, it's
He did
clothing
have
that's
some behind the
actually
scenes
made, like,
contributor while we're
half
telling him to stop
standard,
begging.
all right?
We haven't heard from him about
So,
that in a while. Yeah.
I bought a couple of shirts and I bought some underwear.
Get him out of here.
The thing is, I never really wore it. I never did like one.
Lion King, super gay.
And then I kind of stopped traveling and just kind of stayed home to do content on YouTube, and that was it. So basically,
Look at this troll, he's flipping out.
And then all of a sudden, when I was cleaning out my closet last summer, one of the events we did together, I found it, and I've actually started wearing it, and I love it. It's
Area
very
57
cooling.
killed that dude.
It's cooling and relaxing clothing. It feels nice. It wicks your sweat off your body.
Now, the Patriot one
So,
might actually be true.
Definitely, if you're someone who gets like swamp butt or like stinky pits, if you wear those clothes, they actually aerate your body much better, and you won't stink as much. I think they're actually made for travel. Like if you're on a
DSP, can you go back to sleep? This is really stupid.
very musty, or very it's recycled air. It's not fresh. Because of that, you can sweat.
Yeah, I would go with
the
that,
clothing
Ziggy
is
Piggy,
made
except for
to
Donkey.
suck
Donkey's an
the
ultra Chad.
disgusting filth and sweat off your body.
By the way, I'm getting sweaty, no lie, because the reason that really I need the
I
air
miss
conditioner
Animal
is
Crossing. Let's go back and play Animal Crossing. That's a good-ass game.
And now I'm getting hot because the air conditioner's not on, it's just on fans, so I'm starting
There's
to get hot.
Jasper. We got a Jasper cameo. Yeah, so he's getting a little sleepy. All right, and I think this is probably the last video I have.
Earlier this year, all right.
Here we go.
One
Here
of
we
his
go.
kids was very sick, and I got wind of this. Someone told me about it, and I actually looked into it, and it's true. One of his kids is very sick. I hope they're better, by the way, because I don't know. And I
That's
felt
nice
real
of
bad because I know
Shave
that we
your
had some
pits if you
bad
wanna
blood.
reduce body
And I
odor.
personally
Wow.
reached out to the guy behind the scenes, and I said, no bad blood
Yeah,
is worth the
back in
stress of having a
2001.
family member who's really ill.
I was in a
I've
space
been there,
odyssey.
and I wanted you to know that I hope that your daughter feels better, and I kind of want to squash whatever we have.
Can someone fill me in? Who's this dude? I just don't know. I don't know. Is this Almighty Loser? Is this the channel dude? Oh shit! It's this guy.
In fact, would you like to have a conversation? Would you like to maybe come on my show and just talk?
No, you never said that in the DM. I still have it.
Oh crap!
Okay. March. When is it?
Just keep in mind, he's buzzing with spring fun.
I could see that. Look at this
Right
dude.
there, right there, down. Down. There, it says, I'm sincerely sorry about your daughter.
Oh, okay, here we go. Thank you, Phil. I genuinely, would you be interested in coming on my stream with
This
Jay
must be
sometime?
Jay.
Sadly, it would never be possible with my detractors. See, he never said we were going to do it. They would fucking destroy it just like they do everything else. Oh, woe is me.
Is
But-
this technically destruction by detractors? Right now, we are witnessing live destruction by detractors. Because Review Tech is clearly lying. He photoshopped this, and because DSP did not say that. He said that it went differently. I don't know if I can trust you, Review Tech.
I'd love to have a convo with you on my new React
Immediate
channel one day
debunking,
because I
that's
think
great.
it's time to be civil and just talk about shit. And that way I could keep their toxic shit out of it. So, all right,
Brokeback Mountain is Vietnam? I could see it.
Seems-
Wait.
Streamlabs.
I'd like you
I
to
can't
come
quit
on my
you,
new
Vietnam.
channel I just created and talk there. How convenient.
So he did say some more of it than I realized. So that's it. Okay. See, this is why I'm glad I brought it up, because in my mind's eye, I saw this differently. Be purely no drama. Well, that's why I said the same on my stream as well. He always come on my, I'm like, no, dude, come on my stream. And yeah, I could turn off the chat too. Like,
Yeah, no kidding.
Listen, if Phil comes on our stream right now,
I have the same thing here. If DSP were ever to come on my stream, I'm sorry, dudes. I love you all to death. You're all the greatest heroes in the world, but I'm gonna turn you guys off. But go to the Discord and talk shit. I'll look at that.
and wants to talk, then do it. Let's do it right now, Phil. And
Is
put
this the
everything
mega
behind
cringe
us.
up here on top here?
yeah, come on the stream, dude.
Yeah, guys,
Yeah, I don't remember that.
tell
I
him,
remember the
Phil, come on the
professional
stream right
Street
now,
Fighter player. I don't
and
remember
we'll turn
that.
the chat off, and we'll have a discussion right now, dude, and we'll move past everything. Let's do it.
What
I'm being
happened?
dead serious. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm serious too with that. Chris Nark, dude, he's still talking about you. Holy shit. Is he really? Well, we're going to watch it.
Publicly. So what the fuck kind of person is that? Why the fuck would I waste my time with that guy? He's a scumbag. He literally took my goodwill. I want to be nice to you because I feel bad because you're having a bad time in your life.
Feel bad for you, loser.
I've been there. I just want us to not
Darksy,
have
what makes this dude cringe?
Let's just be fucking cool with each other.
Rich, send him the Zoom link
took
right
that,
now
said,
and say, come on.
And he slammed it down on the ground and he stomped it into paste and he
Hold
laughed at it and he went and made fucking nasty.
Yeah, this is perfect roach bait.
So,
like
but
frame
it wasn't
perfect parry.
nasty, dude. It was still just doing gaffes. Like, I wished... A perfect example. I hate bringing it up because it seems like I'm being disingenuous, but when I saw the Quartering's dad was having health issues, I quote tweeted and wished him the best. Doesn't mean I'm not going to roast him about, like, other shit about his content. No. I mean, I'm not going to roast him
That's
about...
That's a good point. You can still wish a person well and criticize their failings. I know this because I do that with my friends all the time. I wish them well, but god damn it, Master Rankins, can you not be a fan of Digimon?
Like, other shit about his content? No.
Wait, Derek's here?
That doesn't, just because you wished me condolences, which I appreciate, doesn't mean, oh, well, you wish me condolences. Guess I'm never going to criticize you again,
you don't get
Pat
armor.
Country.
Want nothing to do with the guy ever again. He really, if you think that Rich is someone to be looked up to or even enjoy his content, you're a fucking idiot.
Oh,
you need
thanks.
to look in the mirror at yourself and say, what the fuck's wrong with me? This guy
Shit,
is
I'm a fucking
piece of
idiot.
Shit. And
Damn.
I'm following him, and I
knew
like
it was
his
bound to
stuff.
happen.
Someone who's going to have an entire event based around bullying someone.
It's not bullying,
That's
dude.
not bullying.
It's
really
not bullying.
Like,
My
I'm not
telling
even...
anyone to go bother.
Like, I'm not really a fan of Review Tech. I kind of find him kind of obnoxious in a lot of ways. But not to a degree where I could ever, like, really follow him and shit on him. I just don't really like him. But this dude is not bullying you, DSP. Maybe I'm a little toxic in this viewpoint, but I don't think you can ever actually really be bullied once you're past the age of, say, I don't know, 17, 16. You can't be bullied at that point without your consent. Unless you're in a very defined power imbalance situation where, like, your boss bullies you. Your boss could technically bully you. But a person on the internet, DSP, is not bullying you. They're not pushing you down the stairs and taking your lunch money and telling the girl that you like that you're a loser. You know, no one's bullying you, Phil. And what kind of grown-ass man tries to say that? This guy on the internet is bullying me. Like, this dude, apparently, according to his own stories, he tells his mom, he told his bankruptcy attorney, he's told so many people that I am bullied on the internet. How can you not be embarrassed a little bit by saying that? Kids on the internet are bullying me. Mom, please make them stop.
Or I actually
we
said
said
the exact
not to.
opposite. Dude, you are a public figure and it is a joke.
Derek Socks becomes
It
sentient.
is funny.
Awful.
Why don't you laugh at
Yeah,
it?
brigading
Why
is
are
the thing.
you're like, how many people are watching your ass
There's
right now?
very specific situations
I don't
where
even
I
know.
could
It doesn't show
consider
real
an
time.
adult being bullied.
Is this not a real
but I
time video
definitely
anymore or
wouldn't
something?
say this is an appropriate thing to say.
Why isn't that showing how many people are watching? 552.
Phil,
552. You could be having
He gets some
over
sort of armor.
1,400 people now, Phil. But you're going the victim route. There's nothing. We saw your O face when you jerked off.
Yeah.
It's funny. We
It
didn't
is
even see
funny.
your dick. That could happen to anybody. Shit happens, Phil. You stream on a daily basis.
Like I'm going to be real. When I saw that Armored Core 6 trailer, I had DSP's O face. Like I was busting robusting when I looked at that trailer. Why can't I joke about that, DSP? Why can't that be funny? Why does that have to be bullying? It's just childish.
Basis. Someone could have shown one of my someone could have saw one of my ropes shooting across the room. Get over it and laugh at yourself, for Christ's sake.
For real, DSP takes
It's
himself way
time
too seriously.
To really have a self-assessment here of who you are and realize this is not the kind of person you want as part of your life.
I like your ponytail, sir.
Really?
Very cool.
He makes it like we fucked.
I know. It's like you guys broke up.
Yeah, dude, he makes it like we suck nipples or something in a pool.
Did you?
And it's just pathetic because this is a guy.
And
who
he's just leaving,
not
huh?
only
He quit.
Knows he has 1 million subs on YouTube.
I give up.
And knows that people
No, I had no idea, actually.
will actually follow the things he says and does. He's irresponsible with it. This is the kind of person I talk about.
Dude, I don't have that much of a reach. Why are you not bitching about the It's a Gundam fucking videos that have done way more quote-unquote damage, if you could argue
What is this
it's
dude
damage?
doing up here?
Probably gave you more press.
Is this the
and
cringe I was
revenue
warned
than
of?
anything.
Ramen,
One of his
Digimon's
videos
funny.
have
I
more
just give him
reach than
crap.
anything I've ever done on you. Why
He
aren't
gives
you
me crap for
bitching
using
about
blue
that?
and magic.
I outright told Rich earlier this year, I don't need your shit. I got so much personal shit going on in my life. I don't need more.
Everyone has personal shit going on
Yeah.
in their lives. Every single
For
soul
real.
on this
Every
planet.
single person.
He doesn't care.
Aside from maybe
He does it
robots, and even
anyway
then,
because
I don't know.
He personally gets laughs and benefits out of it, so he doesn't care who he hurts or stomps.
So Phil, if
That's
you go
true,
by
like
who has
he has
what
royal
adult has
prerogative.
stressors in your life, we shouldn't talk about anybody ever.
And the real sad
Yeah,
fact
for real.
about this all,
That's a good point. If you can't talk about people because they have stuff going on, again, blurry ass memory. I remember a Jared dude. Definitely his name was Jared. Had some shit going on pretty bad, and DSP was willing to shit on him. Let's see who else had some stuff going on. Dr. Disrespect. Maybe he was just, maybe he was in a bad mood when he posted this. Maybe he didn't mean it. DSP can shit on anyone for any reason. And
All right.
you
What,
can't do
Phil?
the same.
sorry to say it, is that
What?
not only does he have fans, but he has kids.
Uh-oh.
And
What
now-
does that have to do with Phil? Oh
He
God.
has kids.
No shit. Congratulations.
later on in life, they're gonna look back at his behavior on the
Yeah,
internet.
he's a
and they're gonna
slightly
say-
more
they're gonna think
elevated
that that's
lolcow.
okay, that it's okay to bully people.
No, they're not. I'm not bullying you.
No,
You
'cause
think I'm bullying you.
Exactly.
The problem is, Phil, if you're watching or hearing this, is that you're not intelligent enough to understand that we're fans of you, for God's sakes, and anybody can do this. And it is literally called a joke. It is a joke.
What? I don't understand.
And also, you put your face out there for
What's that
public
mean?
consumption.
Yeah, and just like me, I've been there and still am there. People make videos on me on a fairly regular basis. You are subject to criticism, just like I am. We're not above
Yeah.
it. You don't
No
think there's
shit.
people making videos about me
The
on a daily
difference is
basis?
DSP is honest, unlike
You're,
those other people.
look at
Oh, yeah,
you,
that's
man.
right,
Look at
forgot.
the stress on your face. From what? From so. Look, people like
Oh.
having fun, Phil. No one, not. I guarantee you, not a single soul here. Hopefully, anyway. But I'm 99.9% of people here do not wish you harm. They
No,
just find you.
I don't really wish this dude harm. DSP, I don't want anyone to hurt him. Because I think that it would just lead to some really stupid shit. He'd be even more insufferable if he got assaulted in some sort of way. That being said, I still find it funny, the idea of Cat beating him up. And I'm never going to really apologize for that. I'm sorry. I think it's funny. DSP would say, "Oh, that's so toxic. You're making a joke about domestic abuse." No, I'm making a joke about you being domestic abused. Domestic abuse isn't funny to me. However, there is a weird exception with you.
You are like the best comedian, and you don't even know it.
People are saying I don't know how to take a
You
joke.
have no
I
idea
don't even
why.
know what it is.
Also, your
All I know is what
taste
detractors
in
do all the
fucking
time.
backgrounds is glorious. It's like the best I've ever seen. It's one of the best backgrounds on YouTube. Look at it.
That's fucked up. That's legitimately
Oh, God,
fucked
Phil.
up.
Or would you say the same thing to someone way more relevant than me? I always bring him up, but it's a valid point.
Yeah,
Howard
he
Stern
would be really
hate
obnoxious
doing
if
it
someone
because,
hurt
here
him.
you go, Rich. But
I
it's true.
survived an
He used to
assassination
fucking
attempt.
roast the shit out of Imus. You're like, oh my God, Dad's a terrible person. No one's saying that,
That's
dude.
a good point.
Because we're
That
both
show that
public
you
figures.
watched.
You're in the public eye.
That's a good point. He loved this Howard Stern dude, and Howard Stern shit all over people. Was Howard Stern a bully? Howard Stern had people who were mentally disabled come on his show just to make fun of them. If you ask me, that's far more approaching bullying, and DSP had no problem with that. Man,
Like, tough shit You gotta stop taking yourself so seriously. Get over yourself, dude.
Alone, so he has no one to blame for things going
Man,
wrong. I know he'd make up.
Were you like a dictator in another life? Because you got the personality of one. Oh, Phil looks like he's streaming from inside a Hot Topic store. He does.
Oh, that's really funny.
That's giving him too much credit.
Yeah, true. Dude, it's like,
Well,
like right next to him.
Here. Can you help me out here, Chip? It looks like to me that apparently Review Tech USA was maybe part of a wealthy family. Because look at all this shit he's got. He's got some good ass gear. Clearly that came from him being wealthy already.
It's like a fucking array of dildos that you could buy.
I just realized he's next to a closet. We all know who's in there.
Really? Do you think they're going to be insulated from this behavior?
Like, Bracky, do you want him talking to a cardboard box that a laptop came in, streaming?
They're going to get wind of it when they get older. And they're going to say, my dad used to bully people on the internet. What the fuck is this? He used to make money bullying people.
No, they won't look at it that way, Phil, because my kids are not idiots.
Exactly. The problem is, Phil, they're going to have a higher IQ. Right? Actually, the kids have a higher IQ than you do at the very fucking moment in time that you said that. And they're going to grow up and say
that
Dad
really
wasn't
fair.
fucking bullying.
Technically,
this is the situation, and it was funny. And Phil's just a fucking
one that he
tight
wears?
ass who's begging for money and playing the victim card. Get real, you fuck.
Yeah, well, what do you want, Phil? Like every comedian not to be able to make fun of and talk about other people.
Vulnerable people.
What do you want them to all be? Fucking whatever Superwoman, what's her name was?
And every time that I try, he stomps on it and
What's
he
this guy
shits on
doing
me
now?
again right away for personal benefit. So at this point, I know things are never going to change.
That'd be pretty wild, Richard.
I know he will always be that kind of person, and I'm done with him. All right? So he can do whatever he wants.
Richard got most of his... No, I don't believe that tracks for a second. This dude was probably wealthy.
To make me miserable, especially on today.
DSP would not entertain such an idea. I'm not going to.
I've got a lot of fucked up stuff.
You're saying that a guy had a side hustle? I don't believe you.
We all know what's really going on. And he's doing the don't kick a man while he's down. Come on, Phil.
You kicked that
If
Jared,
anything,
dude.
if you truly are down, laugh at the shit that you've been through. Dude, if I beat off on stream, I would be the first roasting myself, man.
That's a good point. If I was masturbating on stream, I caught doing that. You know who would probably be the first one to make fun of me before you guys? My wife. She would clown my ass so much. She'd make so much fun of me. She'd be like, you down there having an incident? It's funny. It's funny, dude. You have to laugh at stuff like that. And you know why you have to laugh at it? Is because if you don't, you turn into someone like DSP, who harbors all this anger and resentment and bitterness. And he really has no one he can really direct it to. Because why can't we find it funny? Why can't we find this really funny that a dude whacked it on stream? It's the funniest shit in the world. It's something out of a TV show. And that's true of... Oh, we got another tip. Hold on. What are we saying here? Do super chats still work without Phil here? Yes. Nice contribution, dude. It's a sign of constructive mental health to be able to laugh at yourself. And DSP can't do that. He's the king. Kings don't laugh at themselves. That's stupid.
I want to know something. Granted, it's nowhere near as bad as you fapping on stream. Remember when I made that video reacting to fucking 1316 Killer?
No, I wouldn't be saying
that
my
I like
wife was
frantically
crying
went
downstairs. She'd
downstairs and
probably
put
be
a shirt
crying
on
laughing.
backwards to make the video. Oh my god. Like, that's a derp moment, man. You own that shit. 99% of the shit I made about 1316 Killer I would have never made now, because I'm a fucking fool.
And honey, are you just...
You know?
No, I'm
It
not
is what it
doing that.
is.
Not
You own
today,
it.
anyway. They didn't hit the tips,
Try
though.
to, like, he won't even, he called it the incident. He still won't talk about, yes, Phil, you beat off.
And the fact that he's got his people coming over here being fucking nasty to me.
Oh,
just
shit.
shows the kind of person he
That's what he
is.
was
I'm
doing
done
when
with
he was
this
off
man.
the
I
camera
want
there.
nothing to do with
That top
I
dude.
am not sending my people over to you, Phil. I am absolutely not.
That's slander.
Yeah,
Have
we
people
asked them not to.
Yeah,
That's slander.
have people still gone and said, I saw the shit they said too. Not condoning it. I told people not to. But it was lighthearted stuff, dude. It was nothing vicious towards you.
Yeah, he's never going to be over
You
this kind of
just
crap.
overreact. That's
My
the problem.
explosion of satisfaction.
I don't use
Trolls will
lotion.
be
I like the
fucking
friction of
trolls, like,
dragons.
no matter what you say, they're gonna do what they want to do.
Wasn't that something that
people
Roger
get
said
trolled
one
because
time?
other people
I like
like
it as dry as sandpaper.
people troll CNN because they're CNN and they're not Fox News and vice versa. Like, people troll. Like, it's just what have people troll because they're not fans of PlayStation or Xbox. Like, it is what I've literally had people throw.
Also, while DSP doesn't do trolling, what does DSP do? What does DSP do when he encounters something that he doesn't like? He shits on it. Isn't that what essentially trolling is? If anything, trolling isn't even as bad as that. Trolling is finding something goofy and dumb and having goofy, dumb fun with it. Is it negative? Sure. Anything can be negative if you turn it into a special light like that. But DSP, what you do isn't even trolling. It's just attacking things. I fucking hate this game. These developers are a bunch of idiots. They have no idea what they're doing. How is that better than trolling? How is that any word? I don't get it. I don't get how DSP can justify his behaviors, but trolling is such an awful thing. Well, I don't go into their thing and talk shit. Yes, you do. You tag them. You tag EA and, what was it, the other company that did Star Wars, and shit talk them. What if that hurt them? What if they got depressed and jacked it on stream? You don't think about that. You don't think about the people you hurt, DSP. You don't care. What if someone who worked on those cutscenes for Call of Duty, what if one of them was in your chat? What if them saw your video of you screaming how they need to be fired for having unskippable cutscenes? Maybe that hurt them. DSP doesn't care. Fuck you. I'm just telling you like it is. I'm allowed to say whatever I want because I'm telling it like it is. But no one else is allowed to say anything. That's why people get frustrated with you, DSP. You're such a goddamn hypocrite.
Threatened me to try to get my channel shut down because they didn't like what I had to say about PlayStation, dude. Welcome to the internet, Phil.
And
Do
EMP
not
would
make
go
it
off and
like I'm
DSP would
punching
still be
down
trying
on
to get
you,
his
dude.
laptop to work.
Constantly
Dad,
talking about
it's a little
his fucking
frozen.
content and shit. It's like, shut the fuck up, you idiot. No one fucking should
Our man
care
has been on
about
the
you.
internet this
You're
long,
such
he
a
sure is.
dunce.
Exactly.
You're so
You would think he'd get this out of his
insignificant
system
to
by
anything
now.
on this planet. You've helped no one. All you've done is fucking hurt people with your bullshit.
Yeah,
Shut
what if
the
EA's
fuck
wife?
up.
Yeah, what if they
This is
got
the kind of
upset
person
about
who
that?
doesn't deserve a platform because they're just an online bully. So I'm done with it. And that's it. That's my last word on it.
But it isn't his last word, I'm assuming, from people are telling me.
No,
Rich,
it'll
go
never
fuck
be his
yourself.
last word.
Leave me alone forever. I want nothing to do with you. You're a scumbag. You've proven it time and time again. I'm done with it. Okay.
This guy sure wanders away from the camera a lot.
So, let us
Maybe he's
continue,
keeping an eye
shall
on
we?
Derek.
All right. Let's get back to normalcy and positivity around here. All right.
All right.
I received a $1 tip. No, it's one of his troll. It's one of his idiotic
Ban him.
people. Literally, I'm not even kidding you. They
Get him
mentioned,
outta here.
oh, cyberbullying isn't real.
DSP Butthurt
Wow.
don't like.
Who
would
wow,
like him?
what a monstrous
could?
thing to say. Someone said cyberbullying isn't real.
victim,
oh my
baby.
God, Philium.
Why don't you ask him about cyberbullying? Because he's been the victim of it and he's bitched about it too, but then he just does it. That's the difference is...
Have I doxed you, Phil? Have I done anything to a call to action in you in any way? What have I done?
If you're
That's what
if you're
Drama
actually
Alert's saying in the
a
chat.
victim of something,
We
and you
didn't
know how
read the
bad it
text
can
on
be for you,
stream. What
and
are
you
you
know how
talking
bad
about?
it could be for your family, and you know how negatively it can affect you, you wouldn't do
Exactly,
it to someone
Rich,
else,
mate.
right?
He's
People
just
who are the
pointing at
victims
himself a
of
lot.
a bad raising, you know, your parents were being mean and abusive to you. You don't then go and be abusive to your own kids because you learn from the worst and you know not to do that and pass that along.
But that's not really
right?
how that works.
Well,
There's
Rich is
things
not-
called cycles of violence. I'm going away from what DSP is trying to say and going into what he's actually saying. That's not entirely how it works. Cycles of violence are very hard to break because what people see is they see the violence around them and they think that's normal. Just as DSP saw how his family interacted and thought it was normal. How it was normal for his mother to just basically do everything. around the house, take care of everything, and he just assumed that's what women do. I have a wife. She needs to start cooking and doing my laundry. Otherwise, why do I have her? She's burning up resources. Get her out of here if she's not going to start cooking. I need to show her how to use the laundry machine.
Not that way. Rich, he just passes that toxicity along and continues.
Phil has not
that
been
history
cyberbullying. I can't even think of anything I
bad
could
treatment of people.
even really consider cyberbullying
Oh,
with
God,
DSP.
he's so...
I'll say this. LTG has been cyberbullied more than DSP has. And I'll say why. DSP, or well, he can't have this happen. LTG has had people call his workplace and mess with him at his workplace. In my opinion, that's a little bit too far. You don't mess with people at their place of employment. Let that be the end of it. So LTG, the alpha Chad male that he thinks he is, I would consider he's been more bullied than DSP.
What about all the documentaries that bring up all the, I think in more vivid detail than I've ever done, all the other shit that you've done, dude? That's the thing I don't understand. And those especially combined have done way more damage,
otherwise I'd be the Incredible
unquote,
Hulk,
than I've ever remotely come close to doing. So I don't understand why you're hard. Maybe because I talk about you on almost a daily basis. I realize that.
Listen, Keem, for the love of God, DM me about editing your...
Yeah, I think you're right,
your
Bahas, because I think DSP was very bullied.
I'm dead serious.
I
Just
didn't know
DM
about
me.
Listen,
God, let me have a
piece of
conversation.
Tell Jeremy if he's actually fucking serious, which is perfectly fine if he is serious, to stop being so silent about it, because he's never silent about anything. He knows this would garner a bunch of fucking viewership on his channel, a bunch of fucking people talking about Twitter. He's not talking about it. So he may be agreeing with you behind the scenes, but he's being flaccid, though. And why I think he's being flaccid,
What are we talking about?
Please, it would be delightful to be in a ring with him, is because he's going to probably bail out at the last minute. He's never silent about anything. Why this? Why is he being professional with this?
He says in the chat, Jeremy's serious, but he won't sign anything or won't talk about it until we sign the contract.
Okay.
Wow.
So we're done. I'm not going to talk about his dumb lackeys or anything.
Which Panelly would do. I wish so.
Dollar tips.
I would love to interview her. It'd be fun as hell. I'd be pretty civil about it.
Dude, you've told $10, $20 people to go fuck yourself, so don't make it like it's...
Move on, okay? All right.
We
So
done?
that's that. We're good with shout-outs for now. Now we can get back to normalcy. I got it off my chest. Right?
Normalcy, yeah.
And now we can move on.
We're all good. This is what normal looks like. With the
I thought you were a
DSPs.
man of
Any more this
positivity.
nonsense
Got
today,
it
I'm
under
going.
control.
Okay. So, what would you guys like to talk about for the rest of the podcast?
Let's talk about
We got
review
10,
tech.
15 minutes left.
I wasn't here for the first part.
That's so funny to me, dude.
That was wild.
Tele-
Do I don't? Yeah. I think that's going to be it for me for tonight. Thank you very much. That was quite a fun stream. I'm a little bummed that DSP didn't show up. New $200 tips goal idea, foot cam. Yeah, his stream chat is a little bit more entertaining this time around. Jade is on taxpayer money. Oh god, this guy needs to be banned. How many apology emails are you on? Oh, people are shitting on each other. I should have been reading this more. This is pretty funny. The stream was on the whole time, huh? Yeah, DSP, this was maybe a bad
Scumbags
idea.
and mental cases on the internet
Oh, shit.
still support me.
Thank you so much,
Imagine being a 41-year-old man talking about how you're bullied for pulling yourself off in front of everyone, then fully expecting you can live that down.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Hell, if that happened to you as a kid, I think even the teachers would make fun of you for it. Come on. Hell, again, going back to if that happened to me. If that happened to me, I guarantee you my brothers and my dad and probably even my mom would call me and make fun of me. Jesus Christ, dude. Thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate that. No, 41-year-old man. Bullied by kids. Because he says his detractors are kids. So, I don't know. I don't get bullied by kids. And I work with kids who think they're bullies. Whatever. Crazy and stupid. All right, thank you so much, everyone. I guess I'm gonna head out. I plan to tomorrow get high. Breathe in the essence of life, and watch it. This is how you don't play. I'm trying to guess which one. I'm trying to think about which one I want to do. So, I don't want to do any from the top 3 big ones, though. The top 3 are the Souls games, GTA, and God damn it, I forget every time. GTA, Souls, and Metal Gear Solid. So I want to go with one of the other ones. I'll look it up, see what sounds good. Yeah, Little Shadow, we're going to be in for something Thursday. Thursday is going to be wild. We will hear some of the most insane lore. Place your bets. Place your bets. My bet's on Cat has diabetes. And DSP could have the eye damage. Could be so many different things. Did he tweet? Let's see. Probably not, but let's see. No. He tweeted out his schedule and that's it. Whatever. Resident Evil 4 remake is pretty cringy. Ooh, that'd be a good one. UFC is always fun. Ooh. Man, there's just so many good ones. Metroid Prime is a good one, but just because they're... Oh, thank you so much, everyone. I'm seeing all the praise up there. Thank you so much. Metroid Crime. So, I'll think on it. I'll try and think of something. Again, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for hanging out with me. I was feeling a little sad that I didn't get to see DSP, but I'm sure he's doing fine. Maybe he's up in a farm, upstate, where he can run around and play forever. I hope not. Take care, everyone.